851-3177 for more information.
Bleachers, live in concert in Raleigh. Bleachers Forever Tour, performing at Red Hat Amphitheater, October 6th, with special guest. This is Lorelei. Get tickets now at livenation.com. The brand new album, Everyone for 10 Minutes, is available everywhere May 22nd. Part of the Southern States Mazda concert series.
The big games deserve a big spread. Don't miss a single buzzer beater. Order the Carolina Barbecue Party Packs from Midwood Smokehouse and feed your whole crew with piled high brisket, pulled pork, sides, and all the fixins. Order your party pack today at MidwoodSmokehouse.com.
As America's #1 motorcycle insurer, Progressive has your back.
Oh, like if I need a replacement part?
Sure, we can help with that.
Ah, nice. Hey, I just entered this online contest for coolest bike in the world. You think maybe you can vote for me?
Actually, we just do insurance, not popularity contests.
Yeah, I know. But what's your email? I'll just send you the link real quick. You can vote like 100 times a day. They'll never know.
To be clear, Progressive has your back for insurance only. So get a quote and see if you can save.
So what I'm hearing is there's a little bit of wiggle room.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Covered subject to policy terms, limits, and conditions.
I'm attorney Brian Ritchie. Getting hurt in a car wreck comes with all kinds of stress and frustration. But when you call me, I'll be on top of all of it. So all you need to worry about is getting better. If you've been injured in a car wreck, I'm on top of it. Contact us at richielaw.com.
Broadcasting live from the Lenovo Studios. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
Midday lunch break temperatures in the 70s under a mostly sunny sky. Will turn partly cloudy. Fair weather as we go throughout the day. Highs in the low 80s this afternoon. Overnight lows in the low 60s before making a run at the middle 80s Wednesday afternoon. I'm meteorologist Chris Michaels in the WRAL Severe Weather Center.
3 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones up 1,034 points to 46,251.
And here's the first pitch of the season. A swing and a miss by the lefty Victor Mesa Jr., 96 on that sicker. 0-2 pulled in the air by Mesa. Deep out to right field. Jared Kelly back to the wall. And this one is going to go! 4 rows back over the right field wall. Victor Mesa Jr. 1-2 from Biggie. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Biggie in his return strikes out the Charlotte Knights in order.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly on 99.9 The Fan.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly here on 99.9 The Fan. And if you hear baseball in the background of our show today, well, that's because it's going on right behind us.
Yeah, it is.
We are live at the Durham Bulls Athletic Park for the entirety of today's show. And then they're going to play baseball here right behind us later on today. It is the home opener as the Durham Bulls Athletic Park the Durham Bulls, I should say, and the Athletic Park.
Yeah.
Welcome in the Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs.
Such a good name.
For the home opener of Durham Bulls baseball this year. You know what? Let's just jump into the big 3 at 3 because you know what number 1's going to be.
Number 1.
It's opening day for the Bulls. It's opening day, and at the risk of maybe being too romantic about baseball, which I don't think is possible, on days like today, I'm aware that logically it isn't sunny, nice breeze, perfect temperature every opening day, but when you have this weather, this vibe on an opening day, it feels like there's never going to be a bad one. It feels like this is ordered. Like the baseball gods are allowed to say, listen, whether you can handle, you can mess up our schedule as much as you want, but opening day is sacred and you will not touch it. Today is a perfect day for baseball.
Oh yeah.
If you're able to make it out to the park, if you're already planned to make it out to the park, make sure you do so. And
it's a beautiful day. It's picture perfect.
And it's a perfect reminder that the Big 3 at 3 is presented by Maynard Service Company because, certain days are going to be like this. Mm-hmm. You want to open up the windows. You want to let the temperature handle itself. Certain days you're going to want an air conditioner. Those days are coming too during baseball season. And we're just leaving the season where you wanted the heater going. And if those things break, you can be pretty bummed. If your electricity or electrical work in your house goes down, you can be pretty bummed. If your plumbing goes down, you can be pretty bummed. Maynard Service Company doesn't want you to be bummed. Check them out online, MaynardServices.com. With that being said, it is opening day for the Durham Bulls here. I feel like I give this speech every year. It's a requirement, and I'm going to do it a few times today. My favorite part about minor league baseball, and this is, barely minor leagues. These guys are a hot streak away from the bigs.
Yeah.
Some of these guys have actually played in the bigs, and they're up and down. But my favorite part about minor league baseball is the element of you might see somebody before everybody else knows there's somebody.
Yep.
It's so cool to know, one of these guys could be a Major League Baseball all-star soon, right?
Yeah.
It's not even like you have to wait for it. It's not like, I played youth baseball with somebody who went on to be an all-star. You had to wait 15 years for that payoff. A couple of years ago, we were sitting in this exact spot. We were having this exact show, and Junior Caminero was getting ready to play behind us. He's a Major League Baseball all-star. He's playing in the World Baseball Classic. He's hammering home runs with the big league club. And it really wasn't that long ago that he was right behind us.
It's not too long ago, but a little while back, David Price pitched here. Yeah.
$300 million ago for him, but yeah, he was right behind us. He was actually one of the top picks, so he has already been paid. Or even maybe more under the radar stories. We're going to talk with Mike Berling, one of the VPs here later. I think it was last year. We were sitting here and talking, and he tipped us off to Chandler Simpson.
Yep.
Basically saying, like, I don't know what his role is, but this dude is fast. And then by the end of that month, he was up stealing bases for the Tampa Bay Rays, and he was kind of taking the league by storm because he was like the fastest man alive, fastest man in baseball, which, by the way, he's playing very well for the Rays this year to open up his season. So it's that element of, like, you might be seeing the next big thing that is really fun about minor league baseball. And anybody that frequents minor league baseball parks, and there's not one better than this, they usually have a story of, scrappy little shortstop came up and he was promoted quickly, and that goes on to be like Derek Jeter or something.
Yeah.
Like
Greensboro Grasshoppers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So make it out. If you can't make it today, bummer, because it's going to be awesome. It's the home opener, and it's great weather, and the vibes are high. But make it out here at some point in the season. More specifically, new this year, we have the 99.9 The Fan Zone.
Yeah,
over
Section
there,
215, baby.
Down there, the third base line, prime foul ball territory, great view. We were just sitting in it. And they have $99 tickets, $9.99 tickets on Tuesdays.
That's right.
That's part of our little Fan Zone offer to you. So get the whole family, right? That's an affordable evening/afternoon of entertainment for the entire fam to take in one of the best minor league entertainment values in the entire country. Durham Bulls, best of the best. That is, and we're going to come back to it a bunch because we are here. That is number one. How about number two?
Number two.
Carolina Hurricanes are in action tonight. They're on the road at Columbus, the first of a couple of games against Columbus. I have a couple questions I have.
By the way, real quick,
yeah.
It's a 7:30 puck drop, not a 7 o'clock, 7:30 puck drop. So 7 o'clock Storm Watch, radio-only broadcast, national TV, so radio-only broadcast.
Thank you very much for passing that along. I do have a couple questions for the Carolina Hurricanes as they move into, 10 more games?
Yeah.
10 more games till the postseason. And I'm just going to float them out to you, Dennis, then we'll debate. The first question I have is, how important, or I guess unimportant, is it that the Carolina Hurricanes beat out Tampa for the number one overall seed in the Eastern Conference, because it is, with 10 games to play, still very much anyone's number one seed?
I think it's on a scale of 1 to 10, like 10 being like absolute gotta have it. I would put it at an 8.
Okay, that's important.
I would put it at an 8. I still think it's very important that you can still have home ice advantage in the playoffs, even through the Eastern Conference Final. I still think it's important to at least have it if you can. But if there's any sport that has shown that sometimes you don't have to have home ice advantage in order to win in the postseason, it's hockey.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I say I'll put it at 8. I don't put it at a priority number 10. I just want this team to be playing well going into the playoffs. That's the thing that matters most to me. But also that could be a byproduct of playing well going into the playoffs.
That's actually a very, very good side note is If you're playing well going into the postseason, you probably get the number 1 seed because you're playing well. And I do want to see that momentum. Also, and I know the players might not think about this because it's competition, win, whatever's best for getting the cup. Out of respect for the Lenovo faithful, out of respect for the Lenovo Center crowd, in 2 ways. One, the fact that they get loud and are an advantage, right? The fact that they are something you want to have behind you in the potentially deciding games.
Oh, yeah.
And B, the fact that you just want to give them as many opportunities in the postseason to be there. You want to go ahead and punch that ticket to the number 1 seed. But then there's the flip side, right? You definitely don't want to be tired. You definitely don't want to have any kind of lingering injuries that could have been prevented, tailing you or tagging along with you into the postseason. So it's a give and take. And that's why they pay Rod Brindamore and Eric Tulsky the big bucks to make those kind of decisions and make sure their team is ready to roll going into the postseason.
By the way, this very much could be a potential first-round matchup, Columbus, Carolina. Very much could be.
With 2 games, there's mind games going on there. I just watched I watch it like once a year. It's an opening day baseball. Have you heard the I don't even know who the batter was, but it's Greg Maddux against a Jeff Bagwell. Sorry.
Okay.
Greg Maddux, Jeff Bagwell. So if you're of my baseball age, you're loving this right now. And it's Alomar, the catcher, Sandy Alomar for the Braves. And they're going back and looking at a regular season at bat between Maddux and I think it's Bagwell. And they're talking about it. And Alomar saying, they were up 4 or whatever in the 8th. And Alomar saying, we had a meeting at the mound and Greg Maddux said, I'm going to groove one down the middle. I want him to hit a home run. And Alomar's going like, what in the heck are you doing, Greg? And he goes, no, because in the postseason, we're going to face this team and we're going to be, I'm going to have a 2-1 count or whatever. And he's going to remember, he loves to throw fastball down the middle in this count. And he's going to swing at it and I'm going to throw him the changeup or whatever it was. And to hear years later, the catcher and the pitcher talking about it, it was a mind game that was planted in the regular season that came to fruition in that postseason. And then they showed him striking out on that pitch in the postseason. And obviously baseball is more mind gamey than probably everything. And Greg Maddux was the best. This right before the postseason that will jump into their quick recall if it does end up being a first-round matchup. Don't want to spend too much time thinking about it, but if you're Greg Maddux, probably took you about 10 seconds to come up with that diabolical plan. It worked to perfection. That is number 2. How about number 3?
Number 3.
Let's keep it rolling with the Carolina Tar Heels still don't have a basketball coach. I talk all the time about, when Dennis gets to the office and he just yells a question, and sometimes it's like, have the Panthers traded Deontay Johnson yet? Have Panthers or obtained some extension, whatever the news of the day is? Does Carolina have a basketball? Expect to be screaming like weeks in a row as you walk into the office to see what's going on, right? It is a question that you probably think you're going to ask maybe once or twice, maybe 3 times, maybe to the nearest weekend. And then by the time you get to the other side of it, you're good to go. That doesn't appear to be the case. Carolina being patient. And I'm hearing everything from they are all in on Tommy Lloyd, the head coach of Arizona, and are willing to wait it out and then make a Godfather proposal to Tommy Lloyd, regardless of what happens in the Final Four. He's leading one of the 1 seeds, Arizona. And then on the other side is they're willing to wait for Billy Donovan as a no buyout option coming from the NBA, which would and still get that big name splash higher. Either way, if it gets too close to April 7th, which is when the transfer portal opens up, you start to worry about, okay, do you push expectations to the following year? Because the portal is not something that starts off where, you start off pacing yourself, right? Once the portal opens up, teams are grabbing the best players as quickly as they can. Players are making it known right now that they're going the portal, even though they can't officially put them in, because they want teams to know what's available. So, it's kind of like that legal tampering period in the NFL. Yeah. It opens up at whatever, 2 hours later, all the insiders are saying, player A and X are moving towards an agreement. So Carolina has a couple days, right? I wouldn't say they have weeks, a couple days before they better have a pretty good idea because that transfer portal opens up. And if you miss out, you're scrambling, you're from behind. Still could be the right guy long term, but I think it'll impact next year a bit more if it lasts either too close to or past April 7th.
I think something to keep in mind as well for Carolina. I'll talk about this later on in the show. But you better have a backup plan in case Tommy Lloyd says no or Billy Donovan's no. Who's that third option? You better have a backup plan.
Somebody that would say yes quickly because I assume a no from either of those guys would be met with, well, hold on. Let's make another offer. Wait, because that's your number one guy. Let me see what we can do. Let me talk to a booster. Come on. And then once you do kind of get off of that track, if that's your number one and number two option, you better have somebody who's just waiting there like a dog waiting for a treat. He's my turn. My turn. Throw the ball. Throw it. Like that's about what you got to be ready to do. But we'll see. Right? We'll see. Sometimes those things are blessings in disguise, right? You miss out on your first three options and your fourth option ends up winning 10 national championships. I don't know if that specific scenario has happened, but it could be the best option. We are live here at Durham Bulls Athletic Park for the home opener for the Durham Bulls as the Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs. They could not ask for better baseball weather. We could not ask for baseball weather. So if we come back, we're talking about basketball. Just some things people are missing about Gainey. Stick around.
You keep your truck tuned up, your golf swing dialed in, and your sports knowledge sharp. But what about your smile? At Chapel Hill Family and Cosmetic Dentistry, Dr. James Ferguson leads a team focused in advanced cosmetic dentistry and full mouth rehabilitation, helping you completely transform your smile. Using cutting-edge technology like 3D imaging, digital smile design, and modern implant techniques, every treatment plan is personalized for the best possible result. Request your consultation at chapelhilldds.com.
Adam Gold in studio with my man Patrick Day from the Aluminum Company of North Carolina. All right, let's paint the scenario here. I need windows, but man, I don't have 3 hours to go through the process of deciding what I need, when I need it. Can you help at the Aluminum Company?
Absolutely. So, first of all, when we come out to your house to look at your windows, typical window appointment may last 45 minutes, an hour. We're certainly not going to make a 4 or 5 hour commitment to talk about windows. We're there to help.
Serve dinner last time.
Right. Listen, my wife always says, I talk to my wife all the time. We have salespeople, whatever we're doing. And my wife, I tell her all the time, I can't stand salespeople. And she laughs. She's like, you are a salesperson. I'm like, well, the difference is I'm just having a conversation trying to help people get what they want. I'm not there to pressure you. I'm just there to help you get in and out. And it's a pretty quick appointment. It's pretty efficient. So we're there to help you and make it quick.
I can vouch for that. The Aluminum Company of North Carolina, online at aluminumcompany.com.
When your check engine light comes on, do you see a repair bill or do you see peace of mind? For 20 years, CarShield's been the name America trusts to help keep you on the road. While other companies stop covering you when your car gets older, CarShield offers protection plans up to 200,000 miles. With over $1 billion in claims paid, we don't just promise protection, we deliver it. Don't let a breakdown break your budget. Get the flexible month-to-month coverage you deserve. Go to carshield.com. That's carshield.com today.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. How appropriate. The show goes on from Lupe Fiasco coming out of the break when all these guys behind us are trying to make it to the show.
That's right, they are.
They're trying to. We got a bunch of AAA, minor league, just on the edge of making their dreams come true and finding their way to the big leagues for the Durham Bulls and the Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs. Getting ready to play tonight. Let's see. It is a 6:45 scheduled opening pitch, but the Durham Bulls Athletic Park will come alive long before that.
Oh yeah,
with everybody filing in for the home opener, and stick around after the game if you're making it out. There will be fireworks, a little opening day fireworks action here at Durham Bulls Athletic Park. For the NC State basketball fans amongst us, Corey Smith, the editor of Pack Power, did tweet out. Let's see here, 7 minutes ago.
Oh, okay.
The NC State Board of Trustees has gone into closed session to discuss the fitness and qualifications of a potential employee, Justin Gainey, expecting a vote to be held shortly to approve his reported 5-year contract with NC State.
So yeah, Board of Trustees meeting was at 3. So that makes sense.
There you go. They're in the mix. Then they're in that closed session.
By the way, NC State fans are known for tracking flights.
Yeah.
By the way, we should fix all FAA problems just by hiring State fans for real. But this actually comes from Tucker Sinnett, and our friend Brian Murphy from WREL reposted this. But Tucker Sinnett, who covers the Wolfpack for on SI, said the same plane that Boo Corrigan, the athletic director, used for NC State's rapid coaching search trip on Saturday, made this trip earlier today and actually posted a picture of the flight that lands in Knoxville. So anyway, that trip was made earlier today. So my guess is that they were going to pick him up to bring him over is my guess. Justin Gainey, that is.
Which makes sense. You brought it up. NC State fans are notorious for tracking flights.
Yeah, they are.
I mean, it is incredible. I've covered a lot of college coaching searches and interview processes, and never has there been one thing that a fan base is so known for, so good at, and provides real information. I remember being at Virginia Tech when they covering Virginia Tech when they hired a new basketball coach, and it was like, lookalikes in restaurants and things. And I talked to this friend of a friend, NC State on what was it, Saturday?
Yeah.
Was that the day they did the 3 interviews?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even really know that Furman's coach was in the mix, but they're like, nope. The flight that went to see Shirts in St. Louis or at St. Louis and went to see Justin Gainey with Tennessee was later that afternoon, was out there at Furman with Richie, I think his name was. And I'm just like, all right, now I got to look into this guy, see what kind of, it's unbelievable. And sure enough, it ended up leading, and I don't think it was like the most hidden deal in the world, but leading to Justin Gainey. So credit to all of you. If I ever need to track someone down on a plane, I'm calling in some favors from Wolfpack fans and Wolfpack Nation. They're unbelievable at it. With that being said, Justin Gainey, we know that the vibes, he gets like an artificial boost from State fans just for not being Will Wade, right? Like,
yes.
There was a decent percentage of the fan base that if we would have said the 3 names, right, like Richie, Shirts, and Gainey all appear to be interviewed based on the flight trackers. Who do you want? Whoever's not Will Wade, any of them would have worked. Was like, I don't know, 35% of the answers, because Will Wade had rubbed everybody kind of the wrong way that much. So Gainey is starting off with momentum, kind of just by generically not being another specific individual.
Yeah, you're not Will Wade, and you played at NC State, so it matters to you.
And if I'm 10 minutes to the podium, right? That's the business I'm going to start. If Justin Gainey were to call me 10 minutes to the podium for his intro presser, I would say, like, do you have old gear? Can you bring out a jersey that you wore? Is there a specific game that meant a lot to you against Carolina that you could bring up specific stats? I remember when I had, I think it was 13, 8, and 6 against Carolina. Like, there is no too much for how much you can mention that you're a part of the family, right? Can you name drop old teammates? Can you name drop the time someone from 1983 talked to your team? Like, that's what this entire intro presser is about. You can talk NIL if you want. You can talk, defensive schemes if the question leads you there, but just build momentum by being the absolute anti-Will Wade. The Will Wade had the LSU introductory press conference the other day, and shout out to WRAL. I saw this on a TV clip from the WRAL News. They went back and forth between his speech introducing himself to NC State and his speech introducing himself to LSU for the second time. And I mean, it's, hey, just change a couple words so this isn't plagiarizing.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that tab was still pulled up.
Yeah, it just like the command search NC State, command replace LSU, and that's all he did. So if I'm Gainey, I'm being hyper custom, right? This isn't a template that I'm filling out. This is something much more specific than that. It's much more me in love with State, right? And then once you do that, there will be questions, right? Like once that might get you through the whole introductory press conference, by the way, right? If you filibuster long enough and then you just leave with your Wolfpack hand signal out and you just make your way off the podium, that might get you through the intro press conference. There will be questions. right? His staff will be a huge part. Matter of fact, I wouldn't be surprised if straight from an introductory press conference or maybe even before, he makes his way to Indianapolis, which is where the Final Four is being played and also where the most coaching networking will happen in the entire country over the next 7 days. As he puts together his coaching staff, that is a question. As you talk about what types of players you're going to go after, that is a question. Is it going to be a all-out blitz to return and retain guys like Paul McNeil?
Yeah, Matt Abel as well.
Matt Abel as well, and anyone else on the roster with eligibility remaining. Like all of those things he's going to have to answer, but I would say like answer them with your actions. Your words should more just be building hype and doing whatever you can to draw in some extra dollars.
I also wonder as well is he going to be able to maybe pull a guy or two from Tennessee, like a guy that was like maybe a 6th man or 7th man that was, a sophomore or something this past year. But hey, man, come over here with me. You know our system. You can help me with the culture and everything that we're trying to do because you understand it. Much like Will Wade when he brought up Alan Breed as well as Quadir Copeland, like bringing guys that are familiar with you to kind of help set the culture, at least what you're trying to do, or at least establish the systems that you're going to try and run. Someone that already knows it helps a bunch.
True. The only thing I would answer on that is I think State wants a coach who has like the morals and integrity of a I don't even know, like a mythical human, right? You want honest Abe out there. You want Abe Lincoln,
right?
And Rick Barnes very much gave the head coach of Tennessee, very much gave his blessing to Justin Gainey, and even his like letter of recommendation to Justin Gainey getting the NC State head coaching job. And I think you want somebody who's like morally like, no, I don't want to go back and pillage that place. They helped build me into what I am, and I want to leave them. So unless there's a player that like Tennessee is like, no, you can take him, which I'm not sure if you'd want the guy who Tennessee is like, no, you can take him. It would have to be very cordial is all I'm saying. Like you after seeing everything that went on with Will Wade, I'm very much of the belief that like how you do anything is how you do everything, right? If you cut corners occasionally, if you're a little shady occasionally, it's very difficult to not do that on the bigger things. So if he's like, well, Tennessee was good to me, but I'll take a couple. I don't want that, right? That's a Will Wade move. Like I don't want that unless, and I want to open this door, it's very cordial, right? And it's almost like Rick Barnes is like, hey man, I hope you don't, but if you do, it's all love. Like I know the game, you got to go do what you got to do. And if these players are more comfortable with you leading their career than me, I think that's fair. If those things happen, then go nuts and take the whole roster and bring them to the ACC and go win games.
A question for you on this with Justin Gainey. How much, because first-time head coach, obviously played for the team.
Yep.
How much leeway does he, like how much time does he get to actually build State up? Now, if he has a similar season to what State had this past year in year one as a head coach, I would think overall that'd be a pretty good season, just in terms of overall record and those kinds of things. Maybe not specifically how the season finished, but I'm curious how much leeway, how much grace does he get as being a first-time head coach?
Considerably more than Will Wade.
Yeah.
Maybe like again, it's hard to say without knowing like what the records are. But as long as it's not a dumpster fire, 3 to 5 years. Right?
Really, give him that long?
And here's why.
I'd say 3 years sounds about right.
State, again, depending on how, like it's a sliding scale, depending on how good or bad it's going. But State wants loyalty from the coach.
Sure.
Right? They want to know beyond a shadow of a doubt that Justin Gainey is not, if he has success, not going to leave, right? He's not somebody who's going to, finish second in the ACC next year, third the following year, and then be at Kansas.
Yeah.
If Bill Self ends, right? You don't want that to have happen. So again, with just integrity and honor being the thing that everybody should be all about, I'm leaning on if you expect loyalty from him, you give loyalty to him, right? That's a two-way street. Now that extends to a point, right? You're missing the ACC tournament. You're, severely underperforming and spending a bunch of money while doing it. That'll change everything. But as long as it's within the realm of acceptable outcomes, I think you give him probably more than you're comfortable with because you want him to do the same. And that's why you're hiring him, is because he's going to be loyal to you. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. It's just a little bit. We'll still have more talk about Justin Gainey, especially as perhaps some more official news, signed, sealed, delivered by the school, comes out perhaps later on. But before we get to anything more, here's Dennis Cox.
Hey, folks, Dennis Cox here real quick for my friends over at Law Tigers. A beautiful daylight today. You know, if I didn't have all this equipment out here, I probably would have ridden the motorcycle out here to where we are in Durham, but that's not the case. But I will say this, though, as a motorcycle rider, is that we all know that weather conditions can be tricky at times. It's something that we actually as motorcycle riders need to be so conscious about that a lot of people that are driving down the road don't think about. It's how windy it is. It's actually pretty breezy and pretty windy out here today. Even the wind can impact your riding. It can be a little bit more fatiguing on you as a rider because you're riding into the wind. You have to be a little bit more. You have to manipulate your motorcycle a little bit more in order to stay upright, or that motorcycle can influence where you are on the road. So make sure you check all weather conditions before you go out there on the road. But if you're injured in a motorcycle accident, you got to give Law Tigers a call at 1-800-LAW-TIGERS before you even contact your insurance company. Case evaluations with Law Tigers are always free, and you don't pay a dime until your case settles. So Law Tigers, North Carolina's motorcycle lawyers. Law Tigers is a network of independent law firms who are members of the American Association of Motorcycle Injury Lawyers. Law Tigers is not a law firm.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan, will continue here live at Durham Bulls Athletic Park with the Dean's List coming up after this.
Is your heating and air system ready for the warmer weather? Call Newman Company to ensure your system is running at peak performance. As a Comfort Contract customer, you'll get priority service and a 15% discount on all HVAC and plumbing service calls and repairs. Newman Company, your Carrier factory authorized dealer, has proudly served our community for more than 70 years, delivering reliable comfort and peace of mind. Call 919-862-3000 or visit newcomencompany.com. Newman Company, your comfort is our business.
McDonald's is putting value back on the menu. Whether you're craving a Big Mac, McNuggets, or sausage, egg, and cheese McGriddles, make it a meal and save. Your favorite is now your wallet's favorite too. Extra value meals are back.
Now for just $5, get a sausage, egg, and cheese McGriddles, hash browns, and small premium roast coffee. Price and participation may vary, cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal.
Stop letting high interest debt weigh you down. Pay it all off in days with Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan. It's a completely hassle-free way to cash out your home equity with no appraisals, no paperwork, no waiting. Hey, it's Dennis Cox from 99.9 The Fan. Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan uses AI-driven tech to get you approved for cash out in as little as 1 day with a rate that's at a 3-year low. One client just got $100,000 approved in under 24 hours, wiped out all their credit cards, started a home improvement project, and cut their monthly expenses by $1,500. Call Loan Pronto now and see how much cash you can get. No hard credit pull up front. And imagine this time next week, you could be credit card debt free. Loan Pronto, A+ rated by the BBB with nearly 2,800 5-star Google reviews. Call 919-381-1760, loanpronto.com. 919-381-1760, loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781 on approved credit. Visit NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Tim Donnelly and Dennis Cox here at Durham Bulls Athletic Park, where the players are warming up behind us for the home opener between the Durham Bulls and the Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs. 6:45 opening pitch. Beautiful night for baseball. Just a hint of a breeze, which, by the way, pushing towards right field, which could help the lefties maybe get up and out of Durham Bulls Athletic Park here.
Well, it's interesting. Earlier, it was blowing from right to left.
Well,
I know someone might hit a bull with a steak.
Hey, that'd be nice. Great movie, but I don't have to go into all of that.
Yeah.
This is actually, with the players out there and warming up, this is a old school trick or an old school game that my dad, myself, and my brother would play when going to sporting events. We were big get there early enough to watch warm up people.
Okay.
And the rule was, and this is maybe pre-internet, right? Everything wasn't right there on your phone, but you grab a program and we wouldn't be allowed to open it.
Interesting.
And you'd sit there and you'd watch warm-ups, particularly of the other team, but on opening day, you might be able to do it for the home team as well. you just watch warm-ups and you try to pick, you each get, say, three or five or whatever draft picks. You try to pick players who are going to have a big game, and just off of like how they're moving, how they're throwing, how they're warming up, and it works for football, works for basketball. And then you watch the game, right? Then once you make your selections, you can open up the program, and of course you learn that, your first pick was a guy who hasn't played all season, or a guy like hey, I thought that guy was going to be a great outfielder. Turns out he was shagging flies. He's a relief pitcher. It's like you have to, it's all about how well athletes. Or in football, it used to happen all the time where you'd be like, oh, that guy's going to throw for 10 yards. First round draft pick, need to be the backup quarterback, and the starter was someone you didn't pick. So it's just a game to play, and there'd be a lot of information gathering if you're already here at the stadium, because the guys have been warming up for a while. Just a little fun for you. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Now that I've explained a game we used to play, let's go ahead and jump into it's not a game, but an activity we do every day here on The Drive. It's time for the Dean's List. Dean's List, where we pass along a few extra accolades, a little extra praise to those directly or indirectly related to the college sports world we care about so much here in the Triangle in North Carolina. I'll get us started with some auto entries. If you win an award, you make a finalist list for an award, and you go to or coach for one of the schools locally, you automatically make the list.
It's guaranteed.
Cameron Boozer.
Okay.
Won a fistful of them. Probably not the celebration he was hoping for.
Yeah.
But he is the first player in history to become the National Association of Basketball Coaches Freshman of the Year, Big Man of the Year, and Player of the Year in the same season. He has been awarded all three of those awards as of earlier today.
Well deserved.
Very much so, right? And especially, actually, I think he played pretty well in the postseason as well, but it's a regular season award.
It is.
And he played lights out. Speaking of it being a regular season award, the NABC also announced their Division I Coach of the Year, John Shire.
Which, again, deserved.
Up until the last 15 seconds of the Elite Eight, I think people would have said could have been a postseason award too.
Yep.
But
one shot away from being in the Final Four.
Exactly. So congratulations to both Boozer and Shire for the accolades that they received. Now into some more traditional Dean's List. Actually, maybe not traditional Dean's List. Christina Koch, and I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. You know who Christina Koch is? Koch.
Okay.
She is an NC State double grad, so undergrad and grad school.
Okay.
She's an astronaut.
Nice.
She is scheduled to be on the Artemis
2. She's on the Artemis 2 mission?
Which launches tomorrow.
That's cool.
It is going to go past the moon.
Yeah.
And look back at the moon on its way to Earth.
Like literally the dark side of the moon?
Yes. It'll be the first time anyone has been that far, and it'll actually go further than anyone's gone. But first time anyone's been on the other side of the moon since 1972.
That we know of.
Hey. She is also going to become the first woman to reach such a distance and look back at the moon, which is pretty cool.
That's pretty awesome.
But she is also not a stranger to space. She has already spent almost the entirety of 2019 on the International Space Station. 328 days in space on the International Space Station.
It's a long time.
The record for the longest single space flight by a woman. And she's going back on out into space on Artemis 2.
That's awesome.
And she's a state connection. So it doesn't really have anything to do with sports, but it's really awesome. So that's why they make the Dean's List. She makes the Dean's List. Do you have some Dean's Lists you'd like to write in?
I actually have one I'll throw on there. Scott Forbes, the baseball coach at UNC, got extended to 2031. Got his contract extension.
I saw that. That's well-earned, and also stability is great in college sports right now.
I mean, UNC baseball has traditionally been a very, very darn good program.
Yep.
Actually, the Triangle baseball teams, I mean, because we cover obviously football and basketball and stuff so much, and Canes hockey and everything along those lines. The college baseball teams in this area are pretty damn good.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's opening day. Of course, we're talking baseball.
Oh yeah, but just in general.
Yeah, no, they're very, very good. And if you include Wake Forest, it gets even further into that.
ECU,
also
Carolina.
True. I mean, there's quite a bit. More Dean's List action. The McDonald's All-American games are tonight.
Oh, are they?
They are. They had the dunk contest and the 3-point contest and everything yesterday.
That used to be such a big thing.
Yeah, it is crazy how, but it's still a big deal for obviously the players and all of that. It's just we're so I would say at times overexposed to recruiting. It used to be like you would find out who the best players in the country were when you watched the McDonald's All-American game, and you'd be like, oh my goodness, it might be your first time watching that player, even if you'd heard about him. But I do have the 3 boys participants and 3 girls participants that are on their way to the Triangle.
Okay.
Duran Rippey Jr. is a Duke point guard commit. He's on the East roster in the boys game.
Yep.
Cameron Williams is a Duke big man commit. He's on the West roster of the boys game. And Maximo Adams is currently a UNC forward commit on the West roster. Obviously that, I assume there's quite a few teammates on his McDonald's All-American team that are spending some time with him this week, maybe striking up a relationship and maybe hinting like your program doesn't even have a coach. Why don't you come on over to my program?
Yeah.
But for now, he is listed on like all the McDonald's All-American periodicals, all of the rosters and everything as a UNC commit.
Well, he currently is.
Yep.
We'll obviously stick with that. But here's the thing about the McDonald's All-American game, what it used to be. I think you hit the nail on the head. We're so overexposed to recruiting nowadays, especially with social media and things along those lines. Because it used to be back when if you had a player that you saw for the first time on the McDonald's All-American game, you either loved him or hated him right then in that moment. Like you saw a player, you're like, oh, this guy's really good. Oh, where is he going? Duke? Pff, don't like that guy. Like you instantly made that judgment based on the All-American game, on the McDonald's All-American game. Or you're like, oh, this guy's going to go to this school. I can't wait to watch him. Like you just automatically assume because this player is going to this school, he fits a certain profile. Like this guy's going to Carolina. Oh, he must be like high flying or flashy or something along those lines. You had those, lack of a better term, stereotypes built into your head. But the McDonald's All-American game is where you chose if you hated someone or you're going to love them in college. You chose it that day.
Yeah, and it's still fun to go back and look at like, a random like 1981 McDonald's All-American game, 1987 McDonald's All-American, and just see the names and go, oh my goodness, these teams were stacked. The girls' game is also tonight. It'll actually be before the boys' game. Autumn Fleary is a Duke point guard commit on the East roster. Kate Harpring, that's Matt Harpring's daughter, for those of you that are old NBA fans. UNC wing, she's committed to UNC on the East roster as well. And then on the West roster, there is a Duke shooting guard commit in Bella Flemings. So there's, for both boys and girls, 1 Duke commit on each East and West roster, and there's 1 UNC commit in each game. No state commits in the game. And then my last bit of Dean's List here, women's golfers from the Triangle. That is, I apologize if I mispronounced any of these. Rianne Maliksi, Andy Smith from Duke, Megan Stryker from North Carolina, and Marie Madsen from NC State, because they have all qualified and are set to compete in the Augusta National Women's Amateur coming up in, I believe it starts tomorrow. So those ladies will be playing Augusta National for a pretty big title.
Yeah.
That's pretty darn cool. And
That's
I'm pretty darn
awesome.
jealous. And I'm very, very jealous and also very jealous. So good luck to those ladies as they go out there and try to represent their Triangle colleges.
Oh, okay. Here's the McDonald's All-American game I was thinking of when I was in high school, 2002. You had Carmelo Anthony, you had Chris Bosh, you had Sean May, Rashad McCants, J.J. Redick, Amari Stoudemire. That was all in the 02 McDonald's All-American game. I had friends, when we got back to school the next day after the McDonald's All-American game, I literally had a friend of mine say, I hate J.J. Redick after the McDonald's All-American game in high school the next day. Just from watching, because like, I hate Duke. That's what he said. I hate J.J. Redick after the McDonald's All-American game.
Oh, who was it? This is going to annoy me. There was a relatively current player who was on J.J. Redick's podcast when he was a member of the media.
Yeah.
Wasn't that long ago. And at one point they started talking about recruiting or something, and the guy had absolutely no idea of what JJ was as a young player. And he went, so like the current NBA player, this is an NBA player, looked at JJ Redick and said like, what kind of, were you a big recruit? And JJ was like, I was the MVP of the McDonald's All-American game. He was like, Oh, okay. All right, yeah. And he started listing the other players that were in the McDonald's All-American game. And I was the MVP. And the guy was like, okay, yeah, no, okay, so you're aware. Which is
so
just,
you get it.
Yeah, so it's just like, McDonald's All-American game, it still has bona fides with the youngsters. If you were that dude in the McDonald's All-American game even years ago, it's still a thing. So what's going on tonight? Just a really good day for sports. Durham Bulls opening day, home opener behind us. There's a Canes game, which is national television. So if you want to listen to the Canes broadcast, right, 99.9 The Fan, radio only. Half hour later than usual, so, take your time. And then there's also the McDonald's All-American game. Lot to follow along. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. If you are following along, you might need a watch to do so. So head to Bailey's Fine Jewelry, where you can grab Rolex Submariners, pre-owned and vintage, Rolex GMTs, pre-owned and vintage, Rolex Milgauss, pre-owned and vintage. And I can say that because they have the largest pre-owned and vintage Rolex selection in the state of North Carolina. It is all within the Fox and Bailey watch shop at the Raleigh's Village District location of Bailey's Fine Jewelry, in addition to the main showcase with Glasute Original and Blanc Pond, and then obviously the Omega Boutique. Anything when it comes to luxury timepieces, it's within your reach at Bailey's Fine Jewelry, Village District location in Raleigh. Make sure they know you heard about it from me, Tim, right here on 99.9 The Fan. Up next, we'll be talking with Mike Berling, our yearly checkup on opening day with Mike Berling, a.k.a. the Vice President of CBC Sports, including the Durham Bulls, Holly Springs Salamanders, the Coastal Plain League, and the Zeppelin Devil Dogs. Coming up next.
This April, the party's in Cary as Abbey Road Tavern and Grill Cary celebrates 30 years of great food, drinks, and unforgettable nights. The 3-day anniversary bash starts Friday night, April 10th, with live music and beer reps handing out freebies. Saturday the 11th is an all-day outdoor party with local bands and a draft truck pouring cold ones. Wrap it up on Sunday the 12th with a hangover party featuring Totally Otis and killer drink specials all weekend long. All happening at Abbey Road Tavern and Grill in Cary. Details at abbeyroadnc.com.
All right, Coach, what's the smartest way to leave money to your kids? Can you just leave them a stock?
My dad would always say, hey, my last check's going to bounce. I'm not leaving you guys anything. Then he passed away and he had $2 million.
Yeah.
But mom's happy. That's good. So mom's taken care of. What's the best way to leave money to the kids?
Yeah.
Well, life insurance.
Okay.
And life insurance is something no one wants to talk about because it admits you're going to pass away. But what if I told you, Amanda, there was a life insurance policy that you could touch while you're here? Matter of fact, you could take some of the death benefit out tax-free to pay for your long-term care.
Stop.
Or medical emergencies.
No way.
Yes, there are specialized life insurance policies now, and actually they're more affordable than the old ones. So many of you listening may have a life insurance policy you're overpaying for, and you don't have this advantage on there. So call now. We'll do a life insurance audit. We'll make sure you're in the right place, or we'll give you the best policy we've found out there. These are A+ rated companies, too, to put you in control of your life and your retirement and your long-term care situation. Call now, no cost or obligation.
919-794-7900. 919-794-7900.
Amanda Daughtry is a paid spokesperson. Investment advisory services offered by Capital Financial Advisory Group, a North Carolina registered investment advisor.
Canes hockey is back. Grab an ice cold Surfside to enjoy while you cheer on your Canes. Only 100 calories, 2 grams of sugar, and 0 bubbles, so easy to sip and enjoy. It's not a seltzer, it's Surfside. Official hard tea and lemonade of the Carolina Hurricanes. Must be 21. Please drink responsibly.
Win big with a point card like the Cat Mini Excavator. Get up to $4,500 off select models during tournament season. Call Gregory Pool Cat at 919-609-7321. Mini size, major power, championship performance.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan, live here at Durham Bulls Athletic Park for the home opener for the Durham Bulls, obviously, as they host the Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs. And joining us up here on the portion of the concourse they call Jackie's Landing is Mike Berling, the Vice President of CBC Sports, which includes the Durham Bulls, the Holly Springs Salamanders, the Zeppelin Devil Dogs, and the Coastal Plain League.
It's a lot of baseball.
It is a lot. The most powerful man in baseball because I believe he controls the weather because that's the only way we end up with a day like this for opening day. Mike, let's start with the romanticizing baseball stuff. What's your favorite part about opening day?
To me, it's pregame.
Really?
I love the timing of the flyovers. God forbid, hopefully we actually get the timing right tonight. But I don't know, there's something about the guys out on the line and that green grass. First time you see that, and I don't know. There's just something about that, and it actually is my most enjoyable, but it's also my most stressful because of all the things that have to happen to go right to time that perfectly. Because the rest of the time, the fans are looking at a bunch of random things. Some are looking at Wooly, some are looking at the players, but that pregame, they're all looking at the same thing. So I don't know. I always love that kind of kickoff to a season.
Well, we appreciate it, right? You're going through all the stress. We just get to actually enjoy the good parts,
Right.
So we'll be taking it in. Every year I ask you this, so I'm going to get it out of the way early. 2 years ago, we were talking about Junior Caminero as the guy that obviously you're going to want to tell your grandkids you saw play here.
Yeah.
Last year, you tipped us off on Chandler Simpson.
Yeah.
Who, for a different reason, is somebody I tell people I've watched play baseball a lot. Who's this year? Who do we think we're going to be saying I saw him when?
It's definitely not as easy this year as it was the last couple of years, but I think Brody Hopkins. I think he's definitely on the pitching side, and I'm actually kind of surprised that he's with Homer Bush Jr. I think to see, especially
that was just the
some
name.
of our age, we know with his dad, but again, it's like another Chandler. It's just these fast guys. I was at the spring breakout, not this past year, but last year, and he literally couldn't keep his helmet on. Like every time he hit the ball, his helmet would fight because he's just so freaking fast.
That's a fast guy move.
That. Yeah, that is.
It's to kind of kick your head and it flies off, and you get your face as you slide in. That's a fast guy move.
Part of me is like, okay, get a tighter helmet, but maybe he just wants that. He wants that fast guy move. But but we don't have the stud like a junior. But if you remember, the Rays did a ton of trades before the trade deadline last year. They totally restocked their minor league system, and we're going to be seeing those guys over the next 2 to 3 years.
I would say it's so. When you have that, it's the one thing about minor league baseball is that because the rosters are so fluid, guys getting called up, trades, and all that kind of stuff. When it comes to a marketing standpoint, do you actually really dive into one player in particular, at least early in the season? Like, hey, come watch the next star or stars.
So when we market, we do a lot of targeting. So there are sports fans that we know are baseball fans. We will target specific players. We may or may not have a rehab assignment coming up in the next few days with Lehigh Valley. That yes, we will absolutely target that. But for the most part, it's the family fun. It's the affordable. It's the food. It's the Woolly Bowl. When Will Myers were here, we went all out on Will just because local and he was going to be a superstar. So we pick and choose. But for the most part, it's just a good time to come out to a ballpark.
Always is.
Mike Berling, Vice President of CBC Sports, joining us here at Durham Bulls Athletic Park on 99.9 The Fan. Speaking of 99.9 The Fan, we have a fan zone back there now.
Absolutely.
Let's go.
$9.99 tickets on Tuesdays,
That's right?
Let's pump it.
Yep, that's awesome. We obviously big fans of you all and part of the family, and just makes so much sense to have you all out here over the course of a full season. We love having you out on opening day, but we need to expand it to more of the 6 months that we'll be out here. Next 180, I think we have 180 days left. Not that we're counting.
Oh, you're going to see me a lot. You're be getting favors. My got a 5-year-old son's playing t-ball. Absolutely loves baseball. So we're going to be out here doing the whole thing this summer.
Awesome.
But that probably leads us into our intro, where I talked about all of the different teams and leagues that you do oversee. Because it's not just the Bulls. Baseball is healthy in the state of North Carolina and our area. Talk a little bit about what else you have going on.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. We so there's a lot of history behind the Coastal Plain League, especially in this market. You got Holly Springs, new stadium. Stadium's 10 years old. What we saw was
new in stadium years.
That's a good point. Yeah, especially when this one's 31 years old.
Ting Park is really nice.
But I look at the CPL as kind of the minors of the minors, and the Goodman family loves baseball. It makes so much sense for us to kind of control the triangle when it comes to baseball. So we've had Holly Springs now for many years. We just unveiled a new logo last week. It's fabulous. And then when the Mudcats went to Wilson, again, it just made perfect sense for us to take over 5-county stadium. We're working with the county. We got, I think, $6-7 million that we're going to be putting into it. And not just for the CPL, but also for different concerts and events, kind of like what we did here with Festival of Lights. There's a lot of things we can do out there. It's such a fast-growing area. We did name the team, and Devil Dogs with the Devil Dog Dungaree jeans that I never knew until we started going through this process.
When you named it the Devil Dogs, we were talking about it, and I didn't know the history.
Yeah.
there are some passionate Devil Dogs jeans denim fans out there that will let you know where their grandma worked in the factories and the office building is still there. I was educated on the Devil Dogs history.
Me too, and it was overwhelming favorite. So we went to our the guy who does most of our logos for us, Brian Begley, and it's fantastic logo. I think it's great. The colors are good. And yeah, we're trying to figure out how to get the Devil Dog sign that is still at the plant. Trying to figure out how can we move that to the 5 county because it's so cool.
That'd be really awesome. That's history and baseball. They go together perfectly.
That and the water tower. We got to figure out how to get us on the the Mudcuts logo was on that water tower forever. We need to figure out that too.
And that team, the Zebulon Devil Dogs, mostly going to be Australian players. Like, how did this come about? Like, I find that fascinating and unique that we're going to have players from Australia. College-age guys are going to be playing in the CPL.
Yeah, Chip Allen, our commissioner of the Coastal Plain League. So again, when you're dealing with college wooden bat league, it's really hard to find different players, especially in the NIL world where coaches are trying to hide their best players. So one of the things Chip and Justin, who are in our league office, started looking at is how can we partner with other countries to you see in baseball, between Japan and the Dominican and Puerto Rico. There's so much baseball around the world. How do we partner with different groups? So that's our kind of first foray we partner with a group out of Australia. I do think we're going to look at other areas to try to see if we can pull that in. And I think from an MLB standpoint, that's important because it's a global game. They want more people playing. I was surprised there's this many Australian players playing in U.S. colleges. So yeah, this is something that we're looking at for the future of the league.
That's pretty cool.
I love the creativity of minor league baseball, where like there's an idea and you're going to try it, and it appears to be working. Like you said, you kind of you figure out there are more Australian players than you think, and now you have a different kind of angle on something that baseball we've seen for centuries.
Yeah, you look at with minor league baseball, especially AAA, there's only so much we can do. These guys are literally the next step to the big leagues. But in the CPL, we can try anything. We get the Savannah Bananas came out of the CPL, Cosmic Baseball came out of the CPL. We really are the most innovative league in the country.
So let me ask you this, because we're talking with Mike Berling, Vice President of CBC Sports, ahead of Durham Bulls opening their home schedule tonight against Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs, 6:45 opening pitch. But if you're coming to the game, get here well before that. It may have been 2 years ago now, again, sitting here during our little intro conversation talking about the robo umps, right? And how the AAA was going to be, I don't want to say the guinea pig, but trying it out for the majors. Now we're seeing it's becoming like a thing the fans are excited about in the bigs when you can show up and ump, right? If you challenge the ump and you're right, the crowd goes wild and the ump has to sit there in their shame. Is there anything like that being discussed where maybe the AAA guinea pig factor can potentially work its way up again?
Yeah, in fact, we have a really big one that isn't going to be here in the first half of the year, but it's going to be coming in the second half of the year. They're going to move second base. So second base will be closer. So
I feel like, are you not pulling my leg on this?
No, it's
wait, goodness.
So second base is going to be closer to home plate?
Closer to first, so it'll be closer to first and third. So you're going to have more stolen bases. So it's like 7, I think maybe 7 inches closer.
Really?
Yeah. So
that really is fundamentally going to change things.
Yes, it is.
Because just turning a double play, the angles and stuff at which you approach the bag and all that. That's wow.
Yeah, we're going to, and I like that they're testing it in the second half because we're going to be able to kind of see things in the first half and then have this big comparison to what happens in the second half of the season when it comes to again, stolen bases. Do you stretch a single to a double now? There's so many different pieces to it.
Okay, first of all,
that's
I love innovation, so I'm usually a fan of let's try and see. When you said that, I genuinely I thought you were messing with us. I thought you were saying like, the bases aren't going to be the same distance, as if like, no, we're not doing anything. That is crazy.
Really?
Yeah.
What do the players say about
that? You know what? It'll be funny if we polled them if they even knew this was coming, because it's not happening right away.
Yeah.
I wonder how many even know this is going to happen in the second half. So go ahead.
Obviously, so from first to second to third is not going to be 90 feet. Right? Is that what you're trying to say?
I need to send you guys the diagram.
Please do.
Yes. Yeah, it's really fascinating.
And by the way, if Homer Bush has a little bit of Chandler Simpson wheels, you guys are already, like, if he's still around, you guys are already lined up. He's going to steal every time.
Yeah, and then in the Pacific Coast League, there's new check swing technology.
Oh, okay.
So you'll be able to, I guess, challenge check swings to see if it's
So
crossed.
no more
crossed
pointing
or
down
not.
to the umpire in the
no
field.
more Angel Hernandez down there with Bryce Harper.
Yeah, just guessing
going crazy.
where they just yeah, you win.
Yeah, you're
Like-
right.
Wow.
So yeah, that's in the PCL, not in the IL, but yeah, we're gonna have a different basis.
That's awesome. I was gonna say I'm legitimately like
That's
caught
so
off guard
cool.
by that. If I mean tomorrow's April 1st. This is not.
No, it's not April
Okay,
1st.
all right. I want to make sure my antennas are up. Everybody. Mike, you said your favorite part about opening day is the pregame, so we won't take up any more of your time in regarding the pregame and let you get back to the prep and everything. But we always enjoy it, and like I said, I'll be seeing you a bunch this year.
Awesome.
Once
Excited.
again, thank
you
you
guys. Love having you out here.
Absolutely, anytime.
And dropping bombs like the bases aren't going to be the same distance. Mike Berling, Vice President of CBC Sports here at Durham Bulls Athletic Park. We'll be back after this with Football at 4.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textingterms.us. Texting enrolls you for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply or price stopped. Opt out.
Hey, man, how did the date go?
I had to cancel. I don't get paid until Friday.
You didn't know that you can get up to a $750 paycheck advance with the current app?
Where was that information yesterday?
Just text them. See if you qualify. $750? Boom. And right now, they're offering a $75 bonus when you set up an eligible direct deposit.
Think I should call her back?
Yeah.
Need money before payday? Current has you covered. Set up an eligible direct deposit to see if you qualify for a paycheck advance of up to $750. Hurry and receive an extra $75 sign-up bonus right now. Text BETTER to 323232. That's BETTER to 323232. BETTER to 323232.
Paycheck advance is offered by FindCo Advance LLC, a financial technology company, not an FDIC-insured bank. Eligibility and available amounts may vary and are subject to change at any time. For full terms and conditions, visit current.com/radio or call 1-888-851-3177 for more information.
Wait, everything on this IHOP value menu is just $6?
I told you it was amazing. A huge plate of pancakes, bacon, and eggs is just $6.
Wow.
There's also French toast, a ham and cheese omelet, and oh, they got a BLT and fries now.
Okay, we're coming here every day.
You don't have to tell me twice.
Feast for just $6 with the IHOP value menu. $7 in some locations, available every day for a limited time at participating restaurants in the U.S. Hours may vary. No substitutions. Not valid with other discounts or promotions. Prices may vary.
This is what WRAL weather coverage sounds like.
Thunderstorm warning right now in the WRAL Severe Weather Center.
When your safety is a priority.
An indication that there is a tornado on the ground, so get in your safe spot
in this area, get in your safe spot right now.
With the tools that make a difference.
WRAL Storm Tracker is inside the storm.
WRAL has the only dual Doppler radar in Wade County.
Hear it and see it every day.
It looks like the storm is doing exactly what we predicted to do.
That's WRAL News. Weather coverage you can count on.
This hour of the Triangle Sports Leader is powered by Richie Law Firm, injury lawyers. Richie Law is on top of it. Go to richielaw.com.
That's richielaw.com.
Broadcasting live from the Lenovo Studios. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
Lunch break temperatures in the 70s, heading into the afternoon, warmer with highs in the low 80s. This warm-up is going to continue throughout the rest of the week into Easter Sunday. Wednesday could be the warmest with high temperatures near 86 degrees. I'm meteorologist Chris Michaels in the WRAL Severe Weather Center.
4 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones up 1,124 points to 46,341. Market update brought to you by Range Fest, presented by Capital Range and Firearms at the range at True North in Oxford on Saturday, April 11th. Experience a day of shooting activities for all skill levels, live music, games, and delicious food. Tickets at rangefest.com.
Let's move the chains. Time for Football at 4.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly here on 99.9 The Fan. Thank you once again to Mike Berling, Vice President of CBC Sports, which includes Durham Bulls, Holly Springs Salamanders, Zebulon Devil Dogs, and the Coastal Plain League. Like I said, he's one of the more important people in baseball in our area, and it's a good reminder that making it up to a Durham Bulls game like we are today is awesome, but there's levels to it, right? There's something for everybody, every level of sports fan, every level of financial investment you want to make. There's something for everybody in our area. So check out all the great baseball options. And bunch of really good college baseball as well. So it's truly top to bottom. And we'll continue to talk about the Durham Bulls and the fact that my mind was just blown by the fact that AAA baseball in the second half of the year is going to be changing the distances of second base. I still don't even know if I fully believe it's happening. But at 4 o'clock, we go to football at 4 regardless, and that's what we're going to do now. And there's actually some news here, right? There's our update. I don't want to say news. News implies something's breaking or different. This is more of a developing story. But yesterday, there was a opportunity for Joe Person of the Athletic to have a little bit of a one-on-one with Dave Canales, head coach of the Carolina Panthers. And first of all, he's excited about playing football, to say the very least, right? It's our joke here on the show that Dave Canales is the most optimistic, exciting, enthusiastic person. But let's just say he's excited about playing football, even if it had to start March 31st. But then the bit of information that I want to pass along to you is Jonathan Brooks, who many of you may have been excited about, then been bummed about, then forgotten about, then maybe got excited about, then were bummed about, maybe forgot about again, is a what is it now? To 2 drafts ago, second-round pick, running back out of the University of Texas, who had already injured his knee, tried to come back. When they drafted him, he had injured his knee at Texas. When he tried to come back, he tore an ACL again. So he's essentially played a handful of plays in 2 years with the Carolina Panthers. Dave Canales updated that Jonathan Brooks, after missing a season, is on pace to be available for not just training camp, but most of the offseason, talking OTAs, mini camps, all of those things, which opens up a question. How important is Jonathan Brooks for the Carolina Panthers? Right? They moved on from Rico Dowdle, who was a unbelievable surprise off the free agent discount bin for the Carolina Panthers last year. I jokingly say for what it was 6 weeks, he was 2006 LaDainian Tomlinson with his production. But he's gone, and as of recent, right, free agency, they hadn't really added any movers and shakers in the running back room. They still have Chuba Hubbard. They still have Trevor Etienne, a 4th rounder from last year. But here's what Jonathan Brooks provides. If everything goes well, if he's healthy, if the knees are good, if he hasn't lost his touch, his vision, right, if there's no rust that can't be worked out, they need home run ability, and he might have some of that, right? He can catch passes. He can get out in space. This is, again, looking at him as a prospect when he was healthy. And he did have like one explosive play between coming back from injury and suffering the next knee injury. If he can provide it, that's found value, okay? That's taking a need that the Carolina Panthers have and filling it with something that you've probably already chalked up to being valueless, right? You start suffering knee injuries year in and year out, it's nearly impossible to go, yeah, well, let's depend on that guy to come back, right? So it would be found value. Found value is something you're going to hear me talk about really every offseason for darn near every professional team we cover. And one of the rules is you accelerate builds with found value. In the NFL, what is another example of found value? Jalen Coker is an example of found value. An undrafted free agent that you actually waive, clears waivers, goes on practice squad, eventually gets called back up to the big league club. Now he's having 100-yard days in the postseason. That is found value. You don't depend on it. You hope for it, but you don't depend on it. Finding another team scraps, a player that they've given up on, giving them nothing in a trade, something like Mike Jackson, one of your cornerbacks, who last year, I don't know if he was an all-pro, but there's an argument that he could have been an all-pro with how effective the corner duo of Mike Jackson and J.C. Horn were last year. He was very good, right? And he made big plays, and he intercepted Matt Stafford in an MVP season a couple of times, and he was really good. When you look at how they acquired him, it was in a nothing trade, right? Mike Jackson had run its course in Seattle. They traded a 7th-round pick that they had already made in a linebacker named Michael Barrett. Mike Jackson turns into something special. That is found value. That accelerates your builds, your rebuilds. And what I mean by that is you have a plan. And trust me, with how excited, with how enthusiastic Dave Canales and Dan Morgan are. Somewhere there's a shared Google Doc or a whiteboard with their plan. And, all right, this year we need to fix the offensive line, what they did in their first year, right? They signed Robert Hunt and all these guys to big contracts. The next year, need to solve the defensive line. And they, this offseason, they go spend a bunch of money on Jalen Phillips and others, right? That's the plan. What you don't plan on is the undrafted free agent turning into a starter. You don't plan on the 7th round pick trade turning into a starting really, really good corner. But now those problems are solved, right? You can almost check them off your plan to-do list without having to expend any resources. Another way to find value is to take a quote-unquote lost pick that had suffered multiple serious injuries, that over 2 years has given you almost no value, and get them back to contributing, right? That's Jonathan Brooks right now. If he turns into something you can depend on, anything you can depend on, that's found value to me, right? That's a coin that you find in the parking lot as you're walking to your car, and it turns out it's a rare misprint worth $10,000, right? That wasn't part of your compensation package, right? That wasn't part of what you were planning on for your budget for the year. It's found value. So Jonathan Brooks might be something special. He might be the solution to your lack of home run plays in the running game. He might be a solution to the fact that Chuba Hubbard is more of a plotter, more of a grinder, and your offense needs more zip. Might be, but that would be found value, right? That's nothing you depend on. So I still expect them to add somebody in the draft. I still expect them to continue to peruse other teams' waiver cuts and other teams, Mike Jackson style. Maybe they've given up on them and you haven't quite yet, so you want to take a chance on them trades. But if you're banking on Jonathan Brooks being anything that I described he could be, that's probably not great planning, right? That's probably not something you want to be doing. It's more, if you want to be pleasantly surprised, you want to call it a happy accident, found value, you can deal with that. And that's with the knowledge that he is going to be at OTAs, that he's going to be at mini camps, that he's going to be working out, that he's going to be doing everything this offseason after a year off. The last point I would add is this. It's been, 3 years since he's the 2.5 seasons. So do the math on however long that takes. 2.5 seasons since he's significantly carried the football in a football game of any kind, college or pro.
November 2023.
That's rust.
A long time.
And that's, I don't want to say it's enough time to forget, but it's enough time to forget. It's enough time to go, like, I can't imagine. And granted, I wasn't working out and rehabbing and in meetings and everything, but 2.5 years after your football career is over, you feel like it's 20 years after your football career is over, right? If somebody said like that's why everybody was so wildly impressed with Phillip Rivers this year. If he completed like 6 passes in a game, I would have been like, that's crazy. He was 5 years out of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Jonathan Brooks is going to have to prove that he still, remembers how to do it, right? He's going to have that moment in Space Jam. My son watches Space Jam a lot, so that's going to be a lot of references here where Michael Jordan's like, I've been playing baseball. Let's see if I can still do this. Right now, obviously, Michael Jordan could.
Yeah.
I don't think Jonathan Brooks is Michael Jordan. So he's going to have to prove it to me a bit more concretely than Michael Jordan had to.
I just wonder as well, like you mentioned earlier, Dave Canales said, like, expecting him to do OTAs and things along those lines. What's that ramp up period for him in terms of like building up those carries and stuff again? As like you mentioned, you have Chuba Hubbard, AJ Dillon's in the mix. You have Achan. How long is it going to take for him to build up to maybe he can get 15 carries in a game, 16 carries in a game? Like, does that week 7, week 8 before you can like build him up to that point? Because again, you don't want to overdo it right from the get-go. Because like you say, he hasn't played significant snaps in a football game since November 2023. It's a long darn time.
I would tell, and this would be me being like, if I'm Dave Canales to Jonathan Brooks, if you get more than 10 touches in a game, any game this year, it's going to be because you have proved for a month that you are deserving of more than 10 touches. I want Chuba Hubbard. I want somebody else added to the roster who's more prepared to maybe more, I don't know, trusting without all the injuries and without all the rust.
Yeah.
But I'll give you 7 touches in a game. If guys are tapping and they're they're tired. I'll give you 7 touches, and you're going to have to average, 5 yards a carry for me to give you 8 the next game. And you're going to have to average 5 yards or score a touchdown or do something crazy, make a guy miss. You're going to have to prove to me that you're worthy of 12 touches, because at this point, I'm just not going to plan on you getting, anything more than 5 carries in a game, let alone 15, 16. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. There's a little football at 4 action for you from here at a baseball stadium. Which, by the way, maybe that's the next move. Mike Berling's talking about, no dumb ideas.
Yeah.
Let's play some football here in Durham Bulls Athletic Park. How about that?
Why not?
We see it in Fenway for the Fenway Bowl. They've
That's
done
true.
it in Yankee Stadium. The dimensions, I think, could work. Let's make it happen. We are here in Durham Bulls Athletic Park for the home opener as the Bulls welcome the Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs. 6:45 opening pitch scheduled. We heard about flyovers. We heard about pregame festivities. We're here for all of it. It's going to be really, really fun. And we'll be back for a game of Copper Drop that just might involve some opening day questions. Stick around.
Get crazy, Canes fans. It's hockey night in Carolina. It's your Canes and Columbus.
Miller's coming in shorthanded. Miller back in, he scores!
Storm Watch with Adam Gold at 7. Puck Drop at 7:30.
Nikishin got that bomb and he scores! Game over! Alexander Nikishin's first overtime game winner!
On your official audio home of Hurricanes hockey, 99.9 The Fan.
Is your heating and air system ready for the warmer weather? Call Newman Company to ensure your system is running at peak performance. As a Comfort Contract customer, you'll get priority service and a 15% discount on all HVAC and plumbing service calls and repairs. Newman Company, your Carrier factory authorized dealer, has proudly served our community for more than 70 years, delivering reliable comfort and peace of mind. Call 919-862-3000 or visit newcomencompany.com. Newman Company, your comfort is our business.
Flying out of RDU? You've already got a lot to think about if you're traveling. Let Fast Park and Relax take over the parking part of your trip. Fast Park and Relax is just minutes from the terminal. You simply pull into our easy access slot, park in one of our fully covered, well-lighted parking spaces, and one of our comfortable shuttles will pick you right up, load your luggage, and deliver you to your terminal. No walking, no waiting. That's why we're called Fast Park and Relax. We make airport parking easy. Check out our free parking offer at thefastpark.com.
McDonald's is putting value back on the menu. Whether you're craving a Big Mac, McNuggets, or sausage, egg, and cheese McGriddles, make it a meal and save. Your favorite is now your wallet's favorite too. Extra value meals are back.
Now for just $5, get a sausage, egg, and cheese McGriddles, hash browns, and small premium roast coffee. Price and participation may vary, cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Ask yourself this question. Is it really worth holding on to that timeshare that you know you need to get rid of? Here's the truth. The average maintenance fee just went up over 17%. That could have been 117%, and there's nothing you can do about it. When you buy a timeshare, you give them a blank check for annual maintenance and assessment fees. I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. For 15 years, I've helped over 50,000 families cancel their timeshare. Not sell it, not transfer it, cancel it. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment and your maintenance fees would never go up? That's a lie. Are you ready to get rid of your timeshare once and for all? Simply call us and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit that explains all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your timeshare exit kit. 800-960-3377. That's 800-960-3377. 800-960-3377.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We are here, Durham Bulls Athletic Park. It is the home opener for the Durham Bulls. Opening day, baseball should be a holiday. kids should be allowed to get out of school even though the game doesn't start till 6:45.
Yeah.
Just to like play stickball and wiffle ball all day leading up to opening day. It is, and the vibes are that way, right? Everybody's in a good mood. You can't be in a bad mood with the weather and baseball going on the way it is.
It's too early in the season to be in a bad mood.
True.
That's the thing. Like, you haven't been bad yet.
And even if you have, it's, well, yeah, that's because, so-and-so hasn't gotten into rhythm. Baseball's game of slumps and hot streaks, right? You haven't quite gotten there yet. But it is all going on today here at Durham Bulls Athletic Park. The Philadelphia Phillies affiliate Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs are the opponent. And the Bulls, obviously, in the Rays system, have some of their top prospects that'll be participating in the game right here behind us. Oh, yeah, I almost forgot. It's now time. Just because we're out on location doesn't mean that our copper drop game doesn't take place. So let's jump in.
You want true enlightenment? Well, I'm dropping.
All right. First question here. We're going to make this baseball related here on cop or drop. Cop or drop, it is okay to show up to a baseball game after the third inning. Cop or drop.
It's okay to turn up to a baseball game after the third?
Yeah, to show up to a baseball game after the third inning. Cop or drop.
It's okay.
It's one thing, like, if there's like terrible traffic, there's an accident, like situation out of your control. But just like, we're just going to the game, and all of a sudden you show up and it's after the third inning. Is it okay to go to the game still? Cop or drop?
Copping. I think it's okay.
Okay.
Here's the reason being. Having something that kind of butts up against your scheduled attending a baseball game shouldn't still make it, right? Baseball is baseball. And also vice versa, right? As somebody with little kids, I've done the baseball game where you have to leave after the third or fourth because you got somebody who's just on empty, gas tank on E, tantrums incoming. You don't want to ruin everyone else's experience. So what's the difference between, leaving after the sixth or getting there after the third? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like there's, if you can make it, I'd say, 50% rule, right? Like you got to make it to, if as long as you're there before like the start of the fifth, I think you're good.
Okay, start of the fifth inning. Okay.
Because if not, then you're just the players want to fill stands, right? You got to be there for at least 50%. You got to be there to, you can't buy the ticket, reserve the seat, and then show up for 2 innings. That's not fair to the players. They want the electricity. So I'm going 50% rule.
All right, next one here. Cop or drop. It's okay to sit in an empty seat if no one has sat in that seat after the fifth inning. Cop or drop.
See, now this is, I don't know if the powers that be will be upset with me. I'm a big fan of get in where you fit in with better seats, as long as you are polite and almost deferential if and or when the rightful owners of that seat show up. Like if there's open seats and they're in a better spot than yours and you can, make your way there. Granted, like this, I'm not saying the usher should let you, right? It's got to be a sport. You got to sneak your way down there. You got to be good at it.
Yeah.
Even if you get away with it, enjoy the game until somebody shows up and say, "Hey, I think you're in my seats." Then, oh my gosh, I'm sorry. Let me get out of here. Grab your stuff, stand up, get moving. Like there's an etiquette to both the move down and the admittance of I'm caught. All right, going back to my seats. You can't be the ones that steal a seat and then when the rightful owners show up, make us think about it because then you're a problem.
But I think if it's after the fifth inning and you haven't shown up to sit down in your seats, you give up that seat. It's already halfway through the game. You haven't shown up yet.
It's move your feet, lose your seat status. Like it's your squatters' rights.
It's you never showed up again after the fifth inning. Now, if it's up until the first 5 innings, then obviously don't sit in those seats. Or if someone shows up, then you move. But I've been to a baseball game before where I literally was the 6th inning and someone came up and like, "You're in my seat." I'm like, "It's the 6th inning," and they just show me your tickets. Like you're like, "Oh, okay, yeah, I'm in your seat." But like, dude, it's the 6th inning. Where you get bid? Anyway, that's just me.
Oh, I mean, I don't know if squatters' rights apply, but I could see that'd be hilarious if it was like written in, there's all the tiny writing on tickets that say like, if your picture is taken, it can be used in promotional, blah, 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 blah. If a foul ball hits you, blah, 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 blah. Like if there's a little bit in there that said like any seat unattended or if filled by a non-ticket holder for 3 innings, it becomes their ticket. Right. Like, it's like there's the squatters' rights, right? If you occupy a place for X amount of days, like now you can't be evicted. I don't know the rules. I'm not a lawyer. But it would be funny if tickets were that way, where it's like if somebody sits in a spot for 3 consecutive innings and doesn't move, that's their ticket now. Any previous rights are forfeited.
All right, next one here. Cop or drop. You're drinking a beer at a ball game.
Okay.
Cop or drop. That beer gets warm because it might be a hot day. It's 90 degrees or whatever it is.
Okay.
Cop or drop. It's okay to leave a little bit of that warm beer at the bottom of your cup. Cop or drop. It's okay to leave a little bit of that warm beer at the bottom of your cup or your can. Cop or drop.
I'm dropping.
Gotta finish it.
No soldiers left behind.
That's fair.
Now it is completely within your rights to do like the one big, like you almost take it like a shot, right? Like, all right, I'm going to go get another, and you just toss it back. That you're completely within your rights there. But this is a like sports etiquette thing, right?
Yep.
Nobody left behind. We got to look good as a unit here. But it is also a financial decision.
Yeah.
When you are at a sporting event, beers
Yes.
are not the cheapest thing on the menu, and if you don't leave like $2.80 just laying around, right? That's enough that you chug it. And also within your buddy's rights, depending on the vibe of the day, if you're there with somebody that you're close with, within their rights to maybe chastise you for not drinking it fast enough that it got warm. There's again, depending on the vibe, right? If it's a baseball game where you're kind of getting after it a bit, if your beer's still got some left and it's getting warm, that just means you didn't drink it when it was cold. So some jokes maybe flying your way.
All right, next one here. I'm asking you this as a father that has a kid now that's 5 years old. Happy birthday to Miles.
It is his birthday today.
Happy birthday
We'll be
to
at
Miles.
the game celebrating. If you see a little guy running around like he owns the place, it's him.
Cop or drop. It's okay for a parent to go up to someone who caught a foul ball to ask it for their kid. Cop or drop.
I am firmly drop. Firmly drop.
I think I'm with you on this one.
There is a level of energy and effort that a adult is allowed to put in for a foul ball. You cannot be the one trying the hardest, right?
Yeah.
There's basically, like, I would give you a arm's reach and a lunge, like a lunge reach, not like a diving lunge, like a one leg in front of the other kind of lean.
Yeah, stretch out for it.
That's as far as a adult is allowed to go for a foul ball. Kids, far as they want to go.
Sure.
Right? And if they choose, the adult that receives the foul ball chooses to look around for a kid looking, eager nearby and tosses it to him, completely fair. Not allowed to ask the question, right? You cannot say, oh, do you mind if you give it to my kid? Or the kid can't even do it, right? You got this is like the everybody gets a trophy thing, right? You got to earn it, or you can be fortunate enough that somebody else is feeling generous. You do not get to kind of whine is kind of how I look at like asking. But there is also I look down on adults that go too hard for foul balls. If I see you, open up stride, if I see you like passing kids, like you're getting in the left lane because you're just faster than the 6-year-old that's also on the way, I'm gonna have some thoughts. I won't say anything to you, but I'll have some thoughts about you. So no, you can't ask. But
yeah,
if they want to, like if I catch a foul ball and I'm not with my kids, I'll look around and find a kid and toss it to them. But that's if they ask me, then I'm not. Then I'm going, no, actually, I'm giving this to my kid.
Yeah, or I'll give it to the kid that doesn't ask.
Yeah.
I 100% with you on that one. All right, let's actually get to some other actual sports ones.
Okay,
here.
let's do it.
Like real sports ones here. All right,
I have one for you.
Oh, go for it.
Copper drop. You like the fact that in the second half of the AAA season, they're moving second base in to shorten the distance between first and second and third, which if you think I'm making this up, we talked with the vice president of CBC Sports, Mike Berling, here moments ago.
Yep.
And that is actually something AAA is going to be trying out in the second half of this baseball season. They will be shortening the distance just by a little less than a foot.
9 inches.
But that's 9 inches first to second and 9 inches second to third.
Yes. I'm cop it.
Okay.
I'm cop it. You know why? Because I'm all for trying some different stuff. I'm all for trying to do something a little bit different. I 100% cop it because guess what? The stakes here in minor league are nowhere near the stakes of Major League Baseball. This is the breeding ground to find out new rules, to test out new things. That's 100% what this is all about. So yes, I 100% cop it.
Do you know what?
This is where ABS came from.
It is
was here in the minor leagues.
It is going to put traditional baseballists, which are a passionate bunch, into a real pretzel.
Oh yeah.
Do you know why?
Why?
Because they hate change.
They do.
Right? And the distances between bases have been the same since like Ty Cobb, Wahoo Sam Crawford.
Oh, God, even before that.
Like going back into the 1800s. So they're going to hate that it changed. But modern baseball is very much telling everybody, don't steal bases in almost every situation, right? The money ball line, I pay you to get on first, not get thrown out on second. Like they're saying, don't steal bases. And stealing bases are a legendary part of the game.
Yes.
Like they are a storied part of the game. Small ball, advancing runners, all of that. So you could argue that they are changing something that has been in place since the 1800s in order to make the game look more like the game that has been played since the 1800s and less like this, home run, strikeout, money ball era of baseball, which it's become. So traditionalists are going to go, I hate that they're changing it. I like what the change is doing. I don't know how to react, but they're experimenting with changing the distances between the bases in minor league baseball. It's crazy.
All right, next one here, cop or drop. We're actually going to go just basketball here.
Okay.
All right, cop or drop. UNC's getting a new basketball coach. NC State's getting a new basketball coach. John Shire's been at Duke for 4 years now. Cop or drop, a team from the Triangle wins a national championship in the next 5 years. Cop or drop?
I am copping.
Okay.
I just cop if one of those three.
Any of those
okay,
three.
Yeah, I'm copping.
Any school from the Triangle in the next 5 years.
I think there's a pretty good chance Duke does. I think if they just continue to put together teams at the quality they have the last few years, eventually the breaks will go their way. Even if they don't, like if they execute just as poorly as they did in the second half against UConn, it's bad.
Yeah.
But also maybe Mullins has, a little bit of sweat on his finger and the ball slips and now that one misses and they go to a Final Four. And right, like it only takes 1 year where nobody's going to play a perfect run. If things break your way, you end up winning it. If they keep putting together the talent that they put together, that's a good chance. I think Carolina has a chance in the next 5 years. I think obviously towards the back half of that 5 would be the most likely because the new coach would have a chance to put down their roots a bit, especially if it's somebody like, Tommy Lloyd or somebody that shows up and, knows what it takes to get to a Final Four. And State is more of a wild card, right? State is always that team that has, they, people say it for a reason. They created March Madness, right?
Yeah.
They have the most iconic short shot follow-up that's replayed the most in college basketball history. They have a little, it's the Frosty the Snowman song, right? There must have been some magic in that old silk hat they wore. They always have that magic that might pop up, and Justin Gainey's a tie to a previous generation, so perhaps they can put something together.
There's always a level of luck in the NCAA tournament. Like, let's be honest, like it was a 38-footer from UConn that beat Duke.
It's actually a great way to think about it is the better team you are, the less luck you would need, and that answer is never zero. Right? Like the best teams in the country need maybe 22% luck, right? You still need that's almost a fourth, right? And the worse you are, there are teams out there that could win a national championship, but they need like 98% luck, right? They're going to need opposing teams, best players getting sick. They're going to need, Hail Mary 3-pointers at the buzzer going in. They're going to need a lot of luck, but even they could. Duke is I think they've been in that group that's, needed around a quarter. Like they've been in that top group. Carolina over the last 5 years, a few years has been in one of those top groups. State, I think, 2 years ago had a team that needed a lot of luck and almost got it. So like there's always that magic.
Like a bank shot at the buzzer to force overtime in the semifinals of the ACC tournament. You need that. All right, speaking of Duke, here's a copper drop. We can actually make this one final copper drop here.
Okay.
Copper drop. John Shire and Duke win a national championship in the next 3 years. Copper drop.
All right.
3 straight Elite Eights.
Yep.
He's gotten to 1 Final Four. Also have lost some really close games by blowing some leads late in games. Copper drop. John Shiner and Duke winning national championship in the next 3 seasons. Copper drop.
I'm dropping. I think I'm logically dropping in that it's always smart to take the field. But if again, I don't know how many teams I'm putting above them for more likely to win a national championship in the next 3 years. It's just
maybe UConn.
maybe UConn, and perhaps a Michigan if Dusty May keeps it cranking. But there's not many that I would put above Duke to win it, and even those are close. Like wake me up on a different day, and I might say I put Duke over those teams. Here's the thing with Duke. In the immediate aftermath of what happened, there's going to be overreaction.
Oh yeah.
You may not acknowledge the improvement at the exact thing that did them in, right? Last year, the Cooper Flag year, they went 1-4 in 2 possession games, right? If they blew teams out, they won. And if the opposing team was able to keep it close, for the most part, they lost those games. So perhaps it wasn't a surprise, or it shouldn't have been as much of a surprise when they collapsed and Houston got it close in the end and they weren't able to finish that one out. This year, they were 8-2 going into UConn in 2 possession games. That is a massive improvement.
Oh, yeah.
Which means John Shire and that staff and the players coming back did a lot of work on that particular part of the game.
They scheduled tough, too.
They scheduled tough. They executed better in late game situations. They won those games. However, they didn't work on it enough, right? They may have gone from a D- to a B+, but it still wasn't the A+ that you need, and that's why, again, it came back to bite them, and they lost to UConn in a 2-possession game at the end. If they make the same level of incremental improvement in their late game execution, then next year you wouldn't expect them to have the type of collapse that they've suffered a few times. You're never going to go from like, hey, our biggest weakness is our biggest strength in one offseason, right? Especially when you're also indoctrinating a whole bunch of new talented freshmen into your culture and everything else, right? There are bigger fish to fry. So, everything they did to improve their clutch performance was working right up until they caught maybe the most clutch team of the last 5 years doing their most clutch, right? Like that was as good as UConn could be in a clutch situation, and it bit them, right? So the overreaction is you need to light everything on fire and start over. Maybe the appropriate reaction is they're making progress on the things that have been their fatal flaw, and they just need to continue to build on that, right? It's a boxer that gets knocked out in the second round faces the same opponent, and because they got tired and fatigued and their technique went to the bad place, they get knocked out in the second round. They face that same boxer the next year, and they make it to the 9th and get knocked out. It's like, well, guess what? You were in much better shape. Your technique was much better.
Yeah.
Now you just need to keep improving there until you can make it all the way to the end, or gosh forbid, you start going on the attack and knocking them out. So it's they need to go farther.
And they played in, like you said, a lot of close games. Like their win against St. John's was a 5-point game.
Their win against Siena was
close. Against Siena was a close game, but they had to come back in those games. ACC championship game against Virginia was a close game. The 2 games before that, when they played against Florida State, was a 1-point win as well. So they had been in those games, like you said, had been on the plus side, with the exception of with 0.4 seconds left against UNC, and also a late shot against Texas Tech where they lost by 1, where they had JT Toppin was playing in that game.
Hey, Max, can you go ahead and fire up the breaking news for us?
Let's go. What do we got?
NC State men's basketball officially announcing Justin Gainey as their next head basketball coach. It may be not the most surprising of news, but breaking news nonetheless. The NC State men's basketball Twitter account, it looks like it was about 8 minutes ago. One of our own, welcome home, Coach Gainey, with Justin Gainey's Twitter handle there, at Coach Gainey. He is the next and current head coach of the NC State Wolfpack, a former player for NC State from, 96 to 2000 under Herb Sendek.
Yep.
Eventually a staffer for Sidney Lowe with NC State, a assistant coach for Herb Sendek at Santa Clara, and then more recently spent time with Arizona, spent time with Marquette on their assistant coaching staff, and then most recently one of the assistants for Tennessee under Rick Barnes, where they are fresh off 3 straight Elite Eights. Granted, they didn't win any of those Elite Eight games to punch their ticket to the Final Four. But to put it in perspective, I believe Coach K only did that once, 3 straight elite, or 3, maybe twice in his 42 years.
88 to 92 at 4 straight Elite Eights.
So there's 3 straight Elite Eights is nothing to scoff at.
Yeah.
And Justin Gainey has been on that coaching staff with Tennessee. And now he is the head coach for NC State. His, as far as I know, first head coaching job.
Yes. Yes, it is.
That is going every new hire has 10 stories.
Mm-hmm.
The one that I think they're going to promote the most is part of the family, one of their own, played there, assistant there, or staffer there, now head coach there, loves Raleigh. That's part of the story. There's, I would say, equally as important is a guy with no head coaching experience is your head coach in the ACC. There's not many guys that go from, I've never been a head coach before, to I am a head coach at one of the 15 programs that have won 2 national championships in a conference like the ACC, and I am tasked with getting them back to that position of prominence. Right? He's going to care. He's going to do everything he can because it is his alma mater, and he loves State. But that is, I wouldn't say it's the most like traditional of hire for State to bring up.
By the way, it's a 5-year deal, 5-year agreement for NC State and Justin Gainey. 5-year agreement. As according to the official release from NC State, by the way.
As much as I am interested in, how much he's going to get paid, salary, whatever it is, I am almost equally as interested in if they felt the need to really boost that, hey, Justin, if you leave, here's the buyout.
Yeah.
Like, you're going to have to give us everything within your possession if you want to leave for a different job after seeing how it went down with Will Wade.
What's priority number 1 or top 3 priorities for Justin Gainey now? It's official now. What were the first 3 priorities for Justin Gainey?
In order, okay. I would say this. Number 1 is booster NIL fundraising, and Justin Gainey at NC State, Jerry McNamara at Syracuse, on and on and on down the list. That's every coach's. Money makes the world go round in college basketball right now.
Yeah, he's on the phone with a lot of big donors, I'm sure.
Yes, and tell them all they were your first call. Like, you get out of that meeting, call up one of them. Hey, just finished the meeting, and this is what I'm going to do. I'm calling you. And then you hang up with that person. Hey, just got out. First person I thought of.
Yeah.
Got to call you.
So I knew I had to talk to you today.
So there's priority number 1.
Okay.
Priority number 2 and 3 could be done in one swoop, but they could also be done separate. So I'll go 2 and 3. Priority number 2, assistant coach with head coaching experience for all of the reasons that I just brought up. You don't have it, he doesn't have head coaching experience. I'm sure he has a wealth of coaches that he could call for advice, right? Some mentors, right? Hey, Rick, how do you deal with this, right? I'm dealing with this with a player. Hey, how did you deal with this? And he could call up Herb Sendek, or he could call up whoever, right? And he could do that. There's difference between having that person you can call and having that person in the building. So a grizzled college basketball lifer with head coaching experience doesn't have to be the biggest program in the world. Could have been a guy with, a decade at a mid-major, decade at an HBCU, whatever it is, but somebody with head coaching experience. And then number 3 is an assistant with, I would say, the reputation of an offensive guru, right? Justin Gainey, and I'm looking forward to the first time we get to talk to him. Hopefully he's kicking around Indianapolis. We'll do our best to get him on air down there at the Final Four. But his reputation is as a defensive mind, right? His reputation as an assistant is he takes on a tremendous amount of responsibility on the defensive side of the floor, which is fantastic, right? Defense wins championships. Just ask any defensive coordinator. But you also need to be able to score the ball. You also need to have high leverage, high intelligence sets that you can go to. So an assistant coach with a similar reputation to his on the defensive side of the ball and the offensive side of the ball, to me, would be priority number 3. And the reason why I said 2 and 3 could be the same is there are plenty of head coach experienced guys out there that also have tremendous offensive reputations. So if you go find one of those guys, then you check off number 2 and number 3 in one hire. But those would be the first things I would do, first things I would advise Justin Gainey to do if I were even Boo Corrigan, right? Or whoever is in his ear with some explanation, some advice.
It would talk about potential coaches that he can possibly add, like, small or mid-major conference coaches that have head coaching experience that might want to, work their way up possibly. I'll throw a name out there possibly. Again, just spitball a name. I have no inside information on this, but someone I've actually talked to and interviewed a few times. Mike Morrell, the head coach at UNC Asheville, won Big South Championship a couple times. So he's coached in the NCAA tournament. He's coached some really good teams and they competed heavily in the Big South as well. So that's a one and done league, but that might be like a one and done league coach that's been a head coach for a long time, does have experience, been at Clemson for a little bit, was at VCU a little bit, in different assistant roles. So he's got some of that power conference experience a little bit. Could be someone worth reaching out and calling, possibly maybe come join your staff. If he's willing to leave Asheville. 43
years old as well. So
he's young.
I think Justin Bailey's 49, if I'm not
He's
mistaken.
49, yeah.
So, hey, come be an assistant for 5 or 6 years. I'll help you get a job. Just like I was just an assistant for 5 or 6 years with Rick Barnes.
Yeah.
And then Rick Barnes was campaigning for me to get a job.
Yep.
There's in another power conference. That can happen. Priority number 4, and I don't even know if this counts because you only asked for 3.
Yeah.
Surround yourself with people you trust, but also don't go all friends, right? Going back to your alma mater, I am positive that his phone is lighting up with people that want to be in that program somehow.
Sure.
People that love that program as much as he does. People that are so excited for him, but are also thinking, oh, JB got the job. Look at this. Let me fire off a text. Maybe there's room for me on the bench. I could be in player personnel. Hey, I could see he needs somebody to run the strength staff. I've always been strong. Like there's that going on, which is great. That's part of going home, right? You're going to where everybody cares about it. But surround yourself with people you trust. You don't got to go complete outsiders, but make sure you're getting the right and not just the ones who were with you before or your buddies or whoever, right? There's a worry about that when you go home, so to speak. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Before we move on, Dennis Cox has a piece of information for you.
I do. Dennis Cox here for my friends over at Loan Pronto. Folks, stop letting that high interest debt weigh you down. Pay it all off in days with Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan. It's a completely hassle-free way to cash out your home equity with no appraisal, no paperwork, no waiting. Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan uses AI-driven tech to get you approved for cash in as little as 1 day with a rate that's at a 3-year low. One client got $100,000 approved in under 24 hours, wiped out all their credit cards, started a home improvement project, and cut their monthly expenses by $1,500. Call Loan Pronto now and see how much cash you can get. No hard credit pull up front. Just imagine this time next week, you can be credit card debt free. Call Loan Pronto 919-381-1760 or visit loanpronto.com. 919-381-1760, loanpronto.com. Loan Pronto, A+ rated by the BBB with nearly 2,800 5-star Google reviews. 919-381-1760, loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 166171 on approved credit. Visit NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
We are live here at Durham Bulls Athletic Park for the home opener for the Bulls, obviously, as they host the Iron Pigs of Lehigh Valley. More of that and more basketball talk coming up.
Listen for the Get That Out of Here's.
Rejection! Cameron Boozer got a piece! Get that out of there!
The deep looks from downtown.
McNeil flops up a 3 and connects left corner.
Did he just do that?
McNeil fires a 3, got it far corner, falling down. It's a 2-point game.
The road to Indianapolis runs through 99.9 The Fan. Driven by Fast Park and Relax, Chapel Hill Tire and Roof Works.
It's bow time.
Finally, lunchtime. I'm starving.
What's that?
This is the Bojangler from Bojangles.
Ooh, with the same bold flavor as their chicken?
The same.
And fries.
The same.
Huh. Well, I've got a PB&J.
Yeah, that's not the same.
A crispy fish fillet dusted in Bo's famous seasoning. With cheese and tartar sauce on a fluffy bun,
The Bojangler's back. Hook one while you can. It's bow time.
There's bow time, and then there's Bojangler time. You heard right. The Bojangler fish fillet sandwich is back for limited time at participating Bojangles. A light, flaky, perfectly seasoned fish fillet with lettuce, cheese, and tartar sauce tucked inside a bun. Make it a combo and add Bojangles seasoned fries and legendary iced tea. Hungry for Bojangles but in the mood for something different? Then it's Bojangler time.
Organize easy. Organize tough. Customize your work truck or van with upfit solutions from Van Products. Steel and aluminum shelving, toolboxes, data files, cabinets, drawers, conduit carriers, ladder racks, everything safe and secure. Everything built as unbreakable as you by Adrian Steel. Backed by the best warranty in the business. 3 years, 36,000 miles. Everything custom installed by Van Products so you know it's done right. From a single work rig to a fleet, choose custom installed upfit solutions from Van Products.
Sound Station and Security, your automotive and audio experts. Car audio, car video, home theater, wheels and tires, and so much more. Plus, did you know Sound Station and Security offers full service for your vehicle? Alignments, inspection, oil changes, window tinting, and custom exhaust. And with a variety of financing options, Sound Station and Security can help you get what you need today. 2 locations, downtown Smithfield and on Glenwood Avenue in Raleigh. Sound Station and Security. Visit myhotsound.com.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. So if you were just listening right prior to that break, Justin Gainey is officially the next head coach of the NC State Wolfpack. That being news that was, I would say, extremely expected, but now official, right? The powers that be, the boards of whatevers and the monies and the administrators have gotten together and approved what we've learned is a 5-year contract for Gainey to take over the Wolfpack, which does – what's going on? Max just jumped into my headset there. Oh, all right.
Oh, Max is stepping out of the studio. Okay.
Suddenly, I thought I had something wrong. I thought I was correcting, or he was correcting me, and I was like, "Oh, I misspeak all the time. So what do I do this time?"
Yeah, I thought wait, there's more breaking news. What's happening here?
Sorry for putting you on
my
blast.
bad, guys. I just need to go to the bathroom.
Enjoy your trip. And it's a good time to pause and remind you that we are here. Max is back at the studio, keeping us up and running, and we are live here at Durham Bulls Athletic Park. So that wasn't a conversation between us, just like across the table. That was a conversation between us across town. We're here in Durham, getting ready for the Bulls to host the Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs at 6:45, and we'll be here for the entirety of the show. Dennis and I are here at Durham Bulls Athletic Park. Going back to what I was saying, though, Justin Gainey, head coach of NC State, which now means all of our job board watching, all of our attention for potential new coaches goes from split between NC State and Carolina to just on Carolina. They still do not have their head coach, although, depending on who you ask, some might believe that they have zeroed in on their prospect and just have to wait to make the I's dotted and T's crossed. I don't think they're there yet. As a matter of fact, let's talk about one of them that's being rumored. At the Final Four, Arizona is still playing, and that means that their coach, Tommy Lloyd, is still playing. Tommy Lloyd is one of the names that has been zeroed in on by the predictors as a potential name for Carolina, and it's fascinating to me because I'm as high as anyone on the Blue Bloods in the ACC, right? And Carolina is obviously one of them. I think if a coach was the next hot thing at Butler, and they're being presented with both the Arizona job and the Carolina job, I don't think that's much of a choice. I think you go Carolina, but that's not what's happening here. Tommy Lloyd knows he can make a Final Four at Arizona.
Oh yeah,
because he's in the Final Four right now with Arizona, right? He knows that his style, his vibe works with their boosters. He knows because he's doing it. Even if you think Carolina's a better job, and I do, it is a risk to leave a place that you can make a Final Four to go to a place where, you never know. Maybe you don't say, y'all enough or something.
Yeah.
And it just, the whole thing doesn't vibe. And for what, you don't worship at the altar of Dean Smith enough, right? Maybe you think Mark Few is the smarter of the friend between Mark Few and Roy Williams, and somehow that comes out, and now Carolina's out, and I don't know. I'm making up fakes, like laughs, right? These are jokes, but you just never know when you go to a new job, and Tommy Lloyd might be having to make that decision.
And just because you go to a place that has a history of success doesn't mean that success is just automatically going to be there. Look at Indiana. Like Indiana, massive history of success with Bob Knight. They've done nothing this century, pretty much. They went to one Final Four this century. I mean, so again, success isn't going to be guaranteed. Look at Kentucky. Look at some of these other programs that have struggled. Just because you're at there and that name is across your chest doesn't mean success is going to follow. So you bring up a great point about Tommy Lloyd. It's like, wait a second, I can win right here. And guess what? I don't have to worry about competing with a Duke or an NC State down the road. I am the show in this state.
And Indiana, I think, is a great example. Not apples to apples, because Marquette is not Arizona. But Tom Crean went to Indiana.
Yeah.
Had made it to a Final Four with a guy you may have heard of, Dwayne Wade.
Yeah.
I think it was his three last years at Marquette all made the tournament. Two of them ended as a top 25 team in the country at Marquette. He goes to Indiana, doesn't work.
Nope.
Right. That is a coach with a proven history and a school with a historical resume that most would be enamored by. And it just didn't work. Right. It does not guarantee anything. So I thought, let's ask this question, right? For Tommy Lloyd to leave Arizona for Carolina, his priorities are going to have to be a certain kind, right? I think a lot of people just don't like change, right? And that if his priority was just, hey, I want my family to be as stable as possible, he wouldn't leave, right? So that can't be his number one priority.
I mean, he did stay at Gonzaga for 20 years or so as an assistant?
So if his priority is just, I don't want to have to uproot my family, it probably doesn't matter if you're the LA Lakers. You know what I mean? Like if that's his number one priority, it ain't happening. What about this? NIL support. On3, before the Sweet 16, put out a list of what they believe are the ranges of NIL for the Sweet 16 teams. They had Arizona. Sources told On3 that Arizona was in the $8 to $10 million range for their roster this season.
Really?
That is what On3 is reporting.
That's lower than I thought.
It was the second highest group, but it was the highest group was 10 plus. There were 6 teams there. There were 4 or 5 teams in the $8 to $10 million range. Arizona was one of them. Inside Carolina, back in June, reported multiple sources have confirmed to Inside Carolina that UNC has surpassed the $14 million mark in its financial commitment for the 2025-2026 roster, which is interesting because that's obviously significantly more than Arizona, but approximately triple what was spent on the roster the previous year for Carolina. So Carolina would have to commit and show that their new level of spending is their every year level of spending to have the NIL advantage there. Prestige, I went and just did some research here. Arizona's tied for 20th in college basketball with 5 Final Fours. Carolina's number 1 with 21, most Final Fours in college basketball history. Arizona won the 97 national championship and is obviously still alive for this year's. North Carolina is tied for 3rd most with 6 throughout their history. Legendary coaches, Carolina has basketball Hall of Famers Dean Smith, Roy Williams, Frank McGuire. Arizona has basketball Hall of Famer Lute Olson. Good dude.
Yeah.
Talent on campus, 16 first-rounders since 2000 for Arizona, 26 first-rounders since 2000 for Carolina. Some notables, DeAndre Ayton, number 1 overall for Arizona. Aaron Gordon, 4th overall back in 14. Andre Iguodala, 9th overall back in 04. Obviously for Carolina, you know the names. Kobe White, 7th pick. Harrison Barnes, 7th pick in their drafts. Hansborough, 13th. Marvin Williams, 2nd. You know the names to the Carolina greats.
Yeah, Drake Powell last year, 22nd.
Drake Powell last year, 22nd. Arizona has not had a first-rounder since 2022. That's going to end this year. They might have a couple or a few of them. Carolina has only had one first-rounder since 2021, that being Drake Powell.
Yeah.
But that'll be added to this year, Caleb Wilson.
Sure. And maybe even Henry Vasar.
Yeah. Basically, I put it this way. If your priorities are anything basketball heritage, Carolina is going to win that.
Absolutely.
If your priorities are super uber recent, Arizona is going to have that aside from financial commitment. I would be interested in how a buyout for Tommy Lloyd would impact Carolina's financial commitment. There's a world where Tommy Lloyd, and I didn't think this was possible, there's a world where Tommy Lloyd wins the national championship at Arizona and is coaching for Carolina next year.
That's wild to think about.
I didn't think it was possible.
Yeah.
I wrote it off almost like haphazardly, like there's just no way. Comparing the programs, comparing everything, comparing especially the fact that Arizona was at 8 to 10 million and Carolina was at 14 something. There's a world where he wins a national championship, he gets his ring, and he puts it in an office in Chapel Hill. And he recruits with it.
I mean, think about how well he's done with an $8 to $10 million roster. Imagine what he could do with a $14 million roster. Heck, or even just a $12 million roster.
And the Carolina brand.
Yeah.
It's interesting. It's interesting. But again, it doesn't guarantee anything.
Doesn't.
Keep that in mind.
We said this earlier in the show. I think it was important that we say this again. It feels like gut feeling that Tommy Lloyd might be the number one guy.
Number one target.
Number one target. Then there's also the possibility that Billy Donovan, the Chicago Bulls head coach.
Mm-hmm.
If Billy Donovan says no, Tommy Lloyd says no, who's that third option? Like for real, like you better have a third or fourth option if you're Carolina. You can't just narrow in on two guys and then they both say no, you're scrambling. Like who would be the legit true third option for them? Like that's something you have to take into consideration because Lloyd can easily say no. Billy Donovan can easily say no.
You might have to circle back and you might know a number for one of these guys.
Tommy Lloyd coming back as your third option?
No, well,
yes,
with more money.
Back, yeah.
But I'm saying like maybe Byington, who
from Vanderbilt, yeah,
who it looks like kind of pulled his name out and signed the extension with Vanderbilt. There might be a number where he's like, hey, listen, if you get here, I'll bounce.
Yeah.
And Carolina's like, cool, good to know. Hopefully we don't have to use that, but we have this break glass in case of emergency option.
Yeah.
Just spitballing here. That's all just hypotheticals. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. It is nearly 5 o'clock, which means it is nearly time for the starting five here at Durham Bulls Athletic Park. Back after this.
Get crazy, Canes fans. It's hockey night in Carolina. It's your Canes and Columbus.
Miller's coming in shorthanded. Miller back and he scores!
Storm Watch with Adam Gold at 7. Puck drop at 7:30.
Nikishin got that bomb and he scores! Game over! Alexander Nikishin's first overtime game winner!
On your official audio home of Hurricanes hockey, 99.9 The Fan.
This is Ray Womble Jr. from J.E. Womble & Sons in Lillington. Spring is here and lawn mowing will be in full force. Our new lineup of Bobcat zero-turn mowers are bringing tough to turf. Built to give you a professional edge, engineered to last longer and work harder. Come check out the Bobcat ZT2000 series at a discount of $1,200 with 0% financing. And remember, if J.E. Womble & Sons doesn't have it, you don't need it.
When you think breakfast, think Briggs. It's St. Patrick's Month. Briggs has all your March specials, including 2 corned beef eggs Benedicts, a special avocado toast, a special sandwich, and more. They're all available this month only at Briggs.
The North Carolina Courage are back home Saturday, April 4th. Kickoffs at 6:30 as they face the Portland Thorns. Bring the family early for Fan Fest, games, inflatables, and fun for all ages. It's Go Green Night too. No ticket fees ever. Get your seats now at tickets.nccourage.com.
On top of home and auto, Progressive protects your boat, RV, and motorcycle so you can explore the unknown.
Actually, we just take the RV to the same campground every year.
Well, maybe you can catch your own dinner on your boat.
Oh, we can actually get pizza delivered there from this brick oven place we love.
Will you at least try a new topping?
Honestly, probably not. We kind of have a go-to order.
Fine. Just bundle home or auto insurance with your outdoor vehicles with Progressive and stay protected when you go, I guess, where you've gone before. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states or situations.
All right, Coach, what's the smartest way to leave money to your kids? Can you just leave them a stop?
My dad would always say, hey, my last check's going to bounce. I'm not leaving you guys anything. Then he passed away and he had $2 million.
Yeah.
But mom's happy. That's good. So mom's
Yeah.
taken care of. What's the best way to leave money to the kids?
Yeah.
Well, life insurance.
Okay.
And life insurance is something no one wants to talk about because it admits you're going to pass away. But what if I told you, Amanda, there was a life insurance policy that you could touch while you're here? Matter of fact, you could take some of the death benefit out tax-free to pay for your long-term care.
Stop.
Or medical emergencies.
No way.
Yes, there are specialized life insurance policies now, and actually they're more affordable than the old ones. So many of you listening may have a life insurance policy you're overpaying for, and you don't have this advantage on there. So call now. We'll do a life insurance audit. We'll make sure you're in the right place, or we'll give you the best policy we've found out there. These are A-plus rated companies, too, to put you in control of your life and your retirement and your long-term care situation. Call now, no cost or obligation.
919-794-7900. 919-794-7900.
Amanda Daughtry is a paid spokesperson. Investment advisory services offered by Capital Financial Advisory Group, a North Carolina registered investment advisor.
I'm attorney Brian Ritchie. Big truck accidents can cause life-changing injuries, and life-changing injuries deserve life-changing money. I know big truck wrecks, and I know how to fight those big insurance companies. If you've been hurt by a big truck, contact us at richielaw.com. I'm on top of it.
Broadcasting live from the Lenovo Studios. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
I'm W Boreal meteorologist Kat Campbell. Tonight, it's mostly clear. Low temperatures will dip into the low 60s overnight, but will stay in the 70s through the evening. Wednesday, it's a beautiful day, 86 degrees and partly cloudy. There will be a small chance of a shower or storm Wednesday night.
5 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones finishes up 1,125 points at 46,341.
It's 5 o'clock. Time to serve up the biggest sports stories of the day. Here comes your starting five.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly here on 99.9 The Fan. It is opening day, or home opening day. Opening day for the Durham Bulls Athletic Park. It is home opening day for the Durham Bulls. They got their season started on the road last week, and with it being 5 o'clock, and it being time for the starting five at 5, I think you know where we're going to start with number 5.
Count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah.
You like that
Let's
one, Dennis?
go.
You like that one?
Let's go.
The old organ got you fired up?
Yes.
I talk often, and number 1, by the way, is opening day here at Durham Bulls Athletic Park, where they are hosting the Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs at 6:45. We'll be here kicking around. We actually, for an event a couple of years ago, both Dennis and I, we have our custom Bulls jerseys on with our last names on the back. So if you're at the game, we are easy to identify. Dennis is number 7. I'm number 9.
Yep.
Obviously, Crash Davis, 8 in between us. So if you see us, say hi. I'll be kicking around with my son. It's his birthday. So if you see us, say happy birthday. He'll be like, how do you know him? But it's a fun atmosphere. Right. It's great baseball. Every year I have a couple speeches that I give every year here at opening day. And one of them is the difference between the players that play here in AAA and the players that play in the majors is microscopic. The legend of Brian Scalabrine in the NBA telling, generic weekend warrior athletes, like, I'm closer to LeBron than you are to me. And Brian Scalabrine was the 12th man on the bench for the Celtics at the time. That's true for AAA as well. Like, if you think, oh, there's no way I could get a hit off a Major League Baseball pitcher, but maybe a Durham Bull, the answer is no.
No.
The answer is they are much closer to major leaguers than you are anywhere close to them.
Yeah.
These guys are knocking on the door, and sometimes you just get caught in a system that has 2 strong third basemen, so you end up playing in AAA forever. Even if you were on 26 other Major League Baseball programs, you would have been up to the bigs already. So when you come out to Durham Bulls Athletic Park, which by the way, 99.9 The Fan zone down the third base line,
Section 215.
Hang out there, take pictures with the sign, send them to us on social media. 99.9 The Fan on all social medias. But also $9.99 tickets on Tuesdays sitting in the fan zone.
That's right.
$9.99. Get it? $9.99. So
Section 215.
You can see some of the best baseball players on planet Earth for $9.99 on Tuesdays.
That's all season. All season long.
That's awesome. That's crazy.
It's awesome. You never know. You might see us there.
How do they make? Yeah, I'm out at a bunch of games. How do they make money on that? That's not our problem to worry about it. That's your problem to just take advantage of it and go see the games. It is a really well-run, family-friendly park, all that sort of stuff. That's number 5. Let's get to number 4.
1, 2, 3, 4, all together.
Duke closing in on their 20th win of the season. Foster, here's Boozer. Got it! That felt like the dagger.
All right, everybody, I've been saving this.
Oh, okay.
And Max, this is just a hint. If you take what we're about to say here, what I'm about to say, I don't want to implicate Dennis unless he joins in, and put it on social media. Most of the sports fans out there are going to really hate it.
Okay.
I think something that Jon Scheyer needs to get better at as the head coach of Duke basketball is getting the refs on his side.
I thought they got all the calls.
That is why people will not agree with this. I think what he needs to do is get better at working the officials. It's not the most important thing that he can do. It's not the priority number 1, but it's something that he needs to work on. So Duke, by the way, at halftime when Duke was beating UConn by, 15 of their Elite Eight game, I could not refresh my feed at halftime without seeing the foul differential, right? With, Duke's getting all the calls. Duke's only been called for this many. UConn's been called for that many. Look at this number. Why is that fair? Why is that fair? Why is that fair? The number was 4 calls against Duke, 10 against UConn at half.
Yeah.
I'm not hearing that anymore. I'm not hearing about the discrepancy in fouls and once the game's over. Everybody's talking about it at half. No one was talking about it after the game.
Well, first, 5 minutes into the second half, there was already 7 fouls called, I think, against Duke in that first 5 minutes of the second half.
It ended up being 12 fouls against Duke in the second half, 7 fouls against UConn in the second half, and that's why everybody quieted down. But here's my point. If you watched the game and if you paid attention to certain writers that were noting it, that were at the game, Dan Hurley spent a lot of time with those officials.
Oh, yeah.
Dan Hurley, during timeouts, head coach of UConn, some reporters were saying spent more time huddled with the officials during timeouts than with his own team. Kind of assistants took the team, he took the officials. They divided and conquered. And then you get to it something which, by the way, I want to be on the record. I don't think it should have been a technical foul call. But I think it could have been a technical foul call. When Dan Hurley and Roger Ayers, the refs, bumped foreheads after the game-winning shot. I don't even know what to call it.
Touched foreheads.
Like nudged foreheads. And then to hear everybody talk about it after, no, they're buddies, no, they're friends, no, they know each other. To hear Dan Hurley be like, no, I have a great relationship with him. He's a great ref. I wasn't worried about it at all, which is what he said on what was it, Mark Ingram's podcast. Old running back at Alabama. Of course, that's where we go for our info.
Of course.
I'm going like, well, that's just a relationship building thing that paid in their favor, right?
Yeah.
He was working it, and then the fouls come. I don't think the aggressiveness changed for either team in either half. It may have been going anti-UConn in the first half, but it didn't stay that way. Perhaps Jon Scheyer needs to be in their ear a little bit more. And here's where, I love a good analogy. Dave Grohl, the drummer for Nirvana and the frontman for the Foo Fighters.
Yeah.
Is very, I don't want to say anti like American Idol and X Factor or whatever, but he doesn't think it produces the best musicians because there are certain skills to being a musician that you only learn from doing 1,000 shows in crummy dive bars, right? You learn how to turn a room, right, where they're all against you and you have to earn their respect and flip it. And if you just win American Idol and then you're playing arenas, you never learned that skill. So if you ever do lose a fan bit, like if you lose a 8,000 seat stadium, you have no tricks. You don't know how to get them back.
Yeah.
Jon Scheyer did not have to go coach a high school game. He did not have to go grind through the SoCon tournaments. He never had to do a Sun Belt stint. You know what I mean? He was just a player, then a overseas player, then an assistant at Duke, right? After working through some other Duke roles. And he was never the head coach of Rhode Island like Dan Hurley. He was never the coach of Army like Coach K. He was never a Coach K first 4 years at Duke where he was coaching for his career, right? And was teetering with being fired. He was never that. So you almost never learn how to find the change in the cushions, right? If you always have hundreds in your wallet, you don't get those skills. So when you need them, he maybe doesn't have them. And you may say, working officials isn't part of being a coach, and it's dirt. It is. It is. It factually is.
As someone who used to be a head coach at the college level for lacrosse, I had to work officials in my favor.
And there's different, the calls are going in your favor. Keep it that way, right?
Yeah.
Keep them buttered up. Keep them in the vibe without them noticing that you're buttering them up is a skill. When the calls aren't going your way and you complain enough to make the right point to get them to flip, right?
My trick was.
I love this.
So if there's a call I disagree with, be like, I'm not sure about that one. Or I might talk to hey, can you explain? Are you calling it this way today? Yeah, we're calling it this way. Okay, cool. You're calling it this way today. Good. I can go tell my players. And then when they make the right call, the thing I tell them is, even as they're walking by, be like, that was a good call. Even if it's against my team, hey, that was the right call. That was the right one. So now I'm like, see now. But then when I come to you, be like, hey, what about this?
Yep. I've never been a head coach of any kind outside of 4-year-olds.
Yeah.
And I do not work the refs or the umps in 4-year-olds. Take a special type of mean person to do that.
They're out there.
But I have played in tournaments where they were like, call your own fouls and stuff. And I was I let anything fly early, right? I want the umps, the refs to know, hey, I'll play through it, right? I'm tough, right? I don't call anything. That way, if at the end of the game I do want to get a little nitpicky, they must be like, oh, he must have gotten hit really hard because he wasn't complaining early when he got punched in the face. So he must have gotten laid out. And it may have just been like a slap on the wrist. There's again, I don't pretend to know it. I never had to do it, but there's an art there, and I'm not sure John Shire has it. And Dan Hurley, you might not like his style of it, but he's got it.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
He was a high school coach for 10 years. He was at Rhode Island and what was it, Wagner before that for almost a decade. He's got reps of working officials that are much worse than the ones he deals with now. So might be something. Again, no one's going to like it because you're like, Duke already gets all the calls. Yeah, but they needed one more against UConn. Just one. And they would have won the game. That is whatever number it was. 4. Let's get to number 3.
McNeil Jr., 2 seconds on the shot clock. 1. Presto.
Well, just because you know don't mean you can stop it.
We've talked a good bit about this today already because the news became official. Justin Gainey is the next head coach of NC State. It was approved by all of the administrators that it needs to be approved by. He's the next head coach. They have brought back one of their own. They have welcomed him home. He is a former player for State, a former staffer for State, played under Herb Sendek, was the staffer for Sidney Lowe's coaching staff. Played in the late 90s, was on the staff in the mid 2000s. Now he is returning in 2026 as the head coach of his alma mater. I want to
presser at 2:00 tomorrow.
I want to get your thoughts on it, Dennis, because I've monologued a bit. But I also want to say this. Congratulations to Justin.
Yeah, for real.
That is a dream for a former athlete that goes into coaching, to have the opportunity to lead the players that are in literally the exact places that you were, right? Going to the same school, going to the same restaurants, hanging out with this. It's a very cool full circle moment that I'm sure you almost don't even put on your vision board because it's so unlikely that job would open right as you are an attractive candidate for it, and then you wouldn't get the job, but then the goober that did get the job would mess it up so badly that it opens up again the next year, and then you get a second chance to interview and you get it. That doesn't happen for many. So congratulations to Justin Gainey. Outside of your rooting allegiances, I just think it's a cool story when guys go home and have the chance to lead their organization. Obviously now it's you hope it goes well, because it can also go the opposite, and then you can burn some bridges at your alma mater, which wouldn't be fun. But for right now, it's all optimism and it's all fun.
When I was coaching, back when that was my full-time profession, if my former school had an opening, that will mean so much more than me than the job, than any other job. But because I have this truly means more to me than anyone else that would get this position, because this matters to me, because I lived and breathed this school and this team for 40 years of my life. And I still am proud to say I was part of that. So I will say as well, not only is there much more of an appreciation probably from Gainey than any other coach that would get that job, but also internally, I bet he probably feels even more pressure than maybe an outside person, because for him, he's like, I don't want to let anyone down that I played with, that I whatever affiliated with this program, because you already are part of that family. The last thing you want to do is let them down.
I'm trying to think of the best way to say this, because I do believe that good people want to treat every job well, right?
Yes.
Like if I were a coach and I were coaching for some team that wasn't my alma mater, I would want to do right by them, right? They're signing your check. They're giving you an opportunity. You'd want to do right by them. You'd want to leave the program better than you found it. Like, that's just about, having professional pride.
Yeah.
If I were given the opportunity to coach Delaware, which is where I played, there would be so many more non-negotiables.
Yeah.
Where it would be like, I don't care if an SEC school calls. I might take the job, right? Like, I might want to take the job. I'm not stupid, right? I'm not passing up, a 10x raise to stay at my alma mater. But it would be, the non-negotiable would be, I'm not leaving unless I think they're set up for success when I go.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it's less debate. There's less conversation. It's more like black and white, inbounds, out of bounds. I'm doing everything I can for this university. All the way to the point where, and he didn't even go there. Mike Berling coached at Delaware, then went on to his full career. It was after he was an assistant at Duke, coached at Delaware. That got him the Notre Dame job. He must have appreciated what Delaware did. He still, even when he was at Notre Dame, would show up in the offseason and talk to the players and would do all that at Delaware. And now he's at Delaware all the time. Like, I would still have that relationship. Like, even if Justin Gainey becomes the hottest coach in the world, they win 5 ACC championships, and then the Miami Heat give him $20 million a year to replace Spoelstra. Like, he's always going to care about what NC State basketball thinks of him. So there's more there. I did say I want your thoughts on it. How do you feel about the hire?
I think it's good. I think they're giving him an opportunity to be, like I said, all the experience that he's had as an assistant coach, but I think they're really going to give him an opportunity to truly build that program up. I think, hey man, we signed you to a 5-year deal. Take the time to do this thing right. We're going to support you, but we're going to give you the time to do it right.
That is number 3. How about number 2?
Just the two of us. Trimble will kick it out for Vessar. Got it! A three-pointer on the money with 12 seconds to play.
So, NC State's hired their next head coach.
Yeah.
Carolina next. I have a quote here in front of me, and I want to be clear. This is from Tommy Lloyd, the head coach of Arizona's media availability for the Final Four. This has happened this afternoon, so I have not watched the entire presser, so there could be some context missing, but this is a quote. The Field of 68 has put it out on their social media.
All
right. Tommy Lloyd on his name continuing to come up for North Carolina. Here's the quote. Guys, this team has my full focus. Nothing, I promise you, nothing is knocking me off that path. You might call them distractions, but it's because you're distracted. That doesn't mean I'm distracted. End of quote. Few things. My first reaction, and maybe this is me being conditioned by Will Wade, that's not a no.
That's not a no.
That's a lot of big talking that isn't a no, but it's probably enough to get reporters to stop asking the question. Because that's a move you see from coaches that are actively entertaining other jobs but don't want to talk about it. The first person that asks, they're big, they're condescending, they say things like, oh, this again? We're going to talk about this? And it is in part just to make sure that no more questions are asked, right? Because now the next reporter is like, "Oh, geez, that didn't look like fun. I don't want to ask a question about. I don't want to ask a follow up. How do you think Michigan's perimeter defense is going to play?" Right? Like you scare them off of it. It's not a no. That's what I take away from that. It's not a no. It's not a yes.
Quit asking.
But it's exactly. It's not a no. So that's where I think it stands right now. I would say Tommy Lloyd's name is very much in the mix at Carolina, and Tommy Lloyd, unlike Otzelberger from Iowa State, his answers for whatever reason made me go, "Oh, he's staying at Iowa State."
Yeah.
Tommy Lloyd is not giving me that same vibe. He's given me just as vibe, just gut reaction, a little bit of he's considering it, and he doesn't want to say no and then have us playing the clips 2 weeks from now when he takes the job of him saying no. This is very much, if the court reporter would read back my quote, you will see I did not perjure myself. That's very much what I'm getting from Tommy Lloyd. Not saying he's taking the job, but he's at least keeping the door open. That's number 2. How about number 1?
The one! Teams can keep it in. Aho turns. It'll go off of Jarvis, but listen to the cross. Here he scores! Andrei Svechnikov steps right into that one and puts Carolina up 1-0. Another power play goal.
We have a bit of business we have to attend to.
Okay.
Carolina Hurricanes are at Columbus tonight. It is a radio-only broadcast for Mike Maniscalco, Trip Tracy, and the crew. 7:30, I believe, puck drop scheduled.
Yes.
So you can
7 o'clock Storm Watch.
7 o'clock Storm Watch with Adam. 7:30 puck drop. You can catch it all right here on 99.9 The Fan. Be sure you do. I have a question I want to ask you, Dennis. But first, the question of the moment is, who's your first goal scorer prediction?
Oh, yes, that's right.
Because we're remote, we're not going to take callers today, but I can pass along our 99.9 The Fan predictions. Dennis, you think while I do so.
Okay.
Adam Gold, the aforementioned Adam Gold, Seth Jarvis in the first, shorthanded goal, bench minor, too many men. They don't figure it out. Haven't figured it out.
Nice.
Victoria goes Jarvis in the first, Ehlers assist. Paul Ihander from Next Up with Paul Ihander, weekdays 9 to 10. Ehlers in the first. Max, the producer of Paul's show, also Ehlers in the first. He says on a power play. Dennis, who you got?
Shane Goss to spare 5-on-5. First period.
Ghost in the first, 5-on-5.
Yep.
As I have been going and will continue to go until I get it right, Aho in the first. A little breezy here. I don't know if everybody heard that collapsing. Some of our stanchion here just fell down. A little breezy here at Durham Bulls Athletic Park, but hopefully it's taking fly balls deep and we get more home runs.
Just our banner side decided to close itself. It's fine.
It happens. It happens. Here's my question for you, Dennis. I promised a question on the Carolina Hurricanes. Is the Canes power play awesome now?
Shh, don't tell them.
I've said it.
Don't tell them that.
I am not superstitious, but I do have some stats to back it up for you if you'd like.
I absolutely.
Carolina's up to 9th in the league in power play percentage. They're at 23.7%. This isn't like since Christmas. This isn't this month. Like there's a lot of stats like that for the Canes power play that have been going on. This isn't since December or anything like that. This is on the season. They are 9th in the NHL in power play percentage at 23.7%.
Okay. That's cooking, especially the way they started the season.
But are you ready for a flip side to that coin?
Go on.
They are outside the top 10 in penalty kill percentage.
That's not good.
They are 12th at 80.2%.
Not terrible.
Is this the Carolina Hurricanes? They're scoring a bunch of goals, but they're giving up to them. What is going on here?
I don't know. That's the thing. Usually they're like second, third in the league in penalty kill.
And the power play is doing its best most of the time. There's some reverse happening here. They are better on the power play than they are in the penalty kill when you look at ranks league-wide.
I always say if you combine the percentages and you're over 100, overall your special teams are good.
That they track,
which is good. Like again,
almost 104
overall. But if I had to pick one that had to be clicking going into the playoffs, I want my PK to be dominant. I want my penalty kill to be dominant.
Little work to be done.
Yes. I want my PK to be dominant.
Also, Seth Jarvis on a 6-game point streak, 2 goals, 7 assists. Does he keep it rolling today?
Yeah.
All right.
Absolutely.
Also, Brandon Bussey, first goalie off the ice following morning skate. What do you need to see out of Brandon Bussey?
I want to see the performance that I saw from him on Saturday against the New Jersey Devils.
Consistency.
That's what I want to see from him. If he plays like that, good news for Carolina. And like, not just tonight, but going forward.
One thing we know about Brandon Bussey is he is streaky, and they can be long streaks. So it's exciting if he strings like 2 or 3 games together to go, ooh, is this another one? Like a streaky shooter that hits 2 threes, and you're like, could be special. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9, the Fan. That was the starting 5. And again, Canes at Columbus tonight, 7:30 puck drop, 7 o'clock storm watch right here on 99.9 the Fan. It is a radio-only broadcast for the Mike Maniscalco, Trip Tracy, Adam Gold crew, so enjoy that here on 99.9 the Fan. There's also a game that'll be played behind us here in Durham Bulls Athletic Park, 6:45.
By the way, speaking of the Carolina Hurricanes, talking about their power play, since the turn of the calendar year, so since January 1st, 30.7% on the power play. 30.7% on the power play. Carolina Hurricanes since January 1st.
See,
that's humming.
Absolutely.
Humming.
That's I think 30-point-something% is tops in the league. Which there's some wagons at the very top of the league penalty kick or on power play. But I have seen a ton of stats since a particular point, right? Because they started so slow on the power play that, once they turned it around, they've been humming. It's good to see that the now humming portion is like out averaging the beginning where they weren't good, right? So now you're getting into the top 10 combining the two, which is what I wanted to point out. Again, like I said, there's a game behind us that's getting ready to play. The energy here at Durham Bulls Athletic Park picking up as it does every game, but definitely for the home opener. It is Bulls versus Iron Pigs later tonight, 6:45 opening pitch.
This is so funny. Bulls versus Iron Pigs. Love it.
Do you know what's really funny about that?
What?
Is the Iron Pigs are the AAA affiliate of the Phillies. So like those guys are serious ball players.
Yeah.
And they're like the best athlete a bunch of their friends have ever met.
Mm-hmm.
And they're going like, my buddy is so good. He's an Iron Pig. Like it doesn't quite hit, but in the same league, right? Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp, right? It's like, dude, did you hear where Johnny is? Johnny, yeah, no, he's doing it, man. He's one step away. He's going to be playing in the big soon. He's a Jumbo Shrimp. Like it's minor league baseball, man. Before we move on, Dennis, you have something you want to tell the people?
I do. Dennis Cox here real quick for my friends over at Law Tigers. Folks, it's motorcycle riding season. Have you stepped outside? It's absolutely gorgeous. So if you're driving out there on the road, just be conscious of you're going to see a lot more motorcycles out there on the road. Trust me, especially on the highways. If I didn't have to have all this equipment with me, I would have taken the motorcycle out here myself. That's for darn sure. But something to keep in mind if you are injured in a motorcycle accident. Make sure you call 1-800-LAW-TIGERS before you contact your insurance company. And here's the reason why. Law Tigers, they're part of the motorcycle riding community. They know what your bike is worth. They know what your gear is worth. And also they understand the risks of the road. That's why your case evaluation with Law Tigers is always free. And you don't pay a dime until your case settles. Whereas insurance companies, let's be honest, insurance companies, they want to give you the least amount possible. Law Tigers are there to fight for you. That's why it's so important to have people part of the motorcycle riding community standing up for those who are in the motorcycle riding community. So again, give them a call, 1-800-LAW-TIGERS or visit lawtigers.com. Law Tigers is a network of independent law firms who are members of the American Association of Motorcycle Injury Lawyers. Law Tigers is not a law firm.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Justin Gainey, right? I mean, today, NC State officially announces him as head coach.
Yeah.
It's all just gumdrops and rainbows. It's all positive. Should we look for maybe pitfalls? Next.
Move your sports day forward.
For teams who missed the tournament or took early losses, the time to reflect ended the morning after. The business of player retention is now key for your program, and the playing field is more level than it ever was as revenue shares in place. Your coach's pitch now focuses on when do we get our next championship, because that's the only currency your fan base cares about.
Get set up. Join Next Up with Paul Ihander. Mornings at 9 on 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
Is your heating and air system ready for the warmer weather? Call Newman Company to ensure your system is running at peak performance. As a Comfort Contract customer, you'll get priority service and a 15% discount on all HVAC and plumbing service calls and repairs. Newman Company, your Carrier Factory Authorized dealer, has proudly served our community for more than 70 years, delivering reliable comfort and peace of mind. Call 919-862-3000 or visit newcomencompany.com. Newman Company. Your comfort is our business.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textingterms.us. Texting enrolls you for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply or price stopped. Opt out.
Hey man, how did the date go?
I had to cancel. I don't get paid until Friday.
You didn't know that you can get up to a $750 paycheck advance with the current app?
Where was that information yesterday?
Just text them, see if you qualify. $750? Boom! And right now, they're offering a $75 bonus when you set up an eligible direct deposit.
Think I should call her back?
Yeah.
Need money before payday? Current has you covered. Set up an eligible direct deposit to see if you qualify for a paycheck advance of up to $750. Hurry and receive an extra $75 sign-up bonus right now. Text BETTER to 323232. That's BETTER to 323232. BETTER to 323232.
Paycheck advance is offered by Fineco Advance LLC, a financial technology company, not an FDIC-insured bank. Eligibility and available amounts may vary and are subject to change at any time. For full terms and conditions, visit current.com/radio or call 1-888-851-3177 for more information.
Hey, what do you say? John Forsland here for my friends at Buffalo Brothers. It's the best time of the year for college basketball, and Buffalo Brothers is a slam dunk. Best place in the Triangle to watch all the big games. They always have great drink specials, and check this out. Every Monday, half-price wings all day. That's half-price wings all day Monday. Dine in only. Now that's a deal, baby. Check out any of their 5 Triangle locations or online at buffbrothers.com. Aw, man, now I want wings.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly here on 99.9 The Fan. As we said yesterday, no numbers game today. We rarely do numbers games when we are on location, when we're not in the studio. And we are on location at Durham Bulls Athletic Park. I mean, it's iconic, right? It's iconic. There's no lollygagging happening here. We need to address this. How many is too many? And is it too many from the jump references to the movie Durham Bulls when you're at a Durham Bulls game? Because part of me just wants to quote Crash Davis and Nuke Lelouch and the crew. I want to be talking about, wedding gifts and candlestick holders and everything else. But I also feel like that's kind of played out by the time you get to the Durham Bulls Athletic Park. So I don't know if you have thoughts on the subject. Maybe actually Dennis is walking his way back over here. Perhaps I'll throw him a surprise copper drop here when he comes back. But we are going to talk about Justin Gainey and NC State's decision to officially make him the next head coach of the men's Wolfpack basketball team in a second. Dennis, I just had a copper drop from earlier. Opening day, Durham Bulls related, pop into my head. I'm going to throw it your way.
Okay.
Copper drop, making Durham Bulls movie references, jokes, and quotes here at Durham Bulls Athletic Park. Because I do often want to make references to it. It is a great movie. It is quotable. There are great performances. However, sometimes I think it's like, asking a Queen fan what their favorite song is, and they go like Bohemian Rhapsody. It's like, okay, let's dive a little deeper here, right? Like making Durham Bulls jokes and quotes here at Durham Bulls Athletic Park. Is it copper drop?
I'll drop it.
Okay.
I'll drop it.
You don't like breathing through your eyelids?
Yeah, it's just like, what am I going to sit there and say? I hear candlesticks make a nice gift. Like, am I going to say that here at the game?
I just brought that up.
Oh, did you?
That's hilarious.
That's funny. No, I'll drop it. I'll drop it.
All right. So I'll refrain, because they do pop into your brain a lot when you're sitting here and you're just saying Durham Bulls over and over and over again.
Yeah.
Bull Durham, by the way. I don't know why I keep calling it Durham Bull. It's because I'm talking about the stadium. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Let's talk Justin Gainey. Right? You got to learn from your mistakes, okay? So I think it's fair to say NC State made a mistake with Will Wade, right? Now, obviously, Justin Gainey, Will Wade, not a lot in common. So they're not making like the exact same mistakes. But you could argue one of the mistakes they made with Will Wade was not anticipating or being more prepared for an obvious flaw in his resume, right? Will Wade was not a loyal dude.
No.
He was a habitual line stepper when it comes to rules. So perhaps the response there would be looking at the obvious flaws and building in more safeguards, right? The buyout should have been higher, right? Things like that, because like, oh, he jumps from job to job to job. If he jumps from our job to a different one, we want to make sure we are made completely whole. Let's put a $14 million buyout in there, right? Like you have to safeguard yourself against the obvious mistakes. So while obviously you're not worried about Justin Gainey being a habitual line stepper, or you're not worried about Justin Gainey being a job jumper because it's his alma mater, what are the obvious things that you should put in safeguards in place of, or that you should address early that you don't want to overlook just because it's good vibes right now, right? Just because you're bringing a guard home, right? You're bringing one of your guys home. He's got connections. When he was on campus, he talked to this guy, and that guy talked to that guy, and this guy talked to Jimmy Valvano. Like you don't want to get blinded by that. What are the mistakes? First of all, I think there's a couple obvious ones, and we've talked about them. Perhaps offensive scheme, right? Because if everybody keeps talking about defensive genius, that is another way to not talk about offense. No head coaching experience, right? So the no head coaching experience, I think the most logical way is that it could lead to some botched decisions late in games, right? Assistant coaches are not the ones handling the crucial substitutions. They're not the ones handling the crucial timeout calls. They're not the ones working the refs, making the speeches. Perhaps he misses that, right? The less obvious. I brought this one up earlier. I want to bring it up again. Perhaps a little too much home, meaning too many friends, too much former player energy. I would, if I were Boo Corrigan, tell him very obviously, I can be your no guy, right? Like when an athlete gets their first big contract, a lot of times there's a manager or financial financial planner.
Yeah, financial advisor.
Or another family member that says, I'm your no guy, right? If your friend comes up to you and asks you for $400,000 to start a restaurant, you feel completely free to say, my financial manager said they tied it up and I don't have $400,000 to give you. Like, so you don't have to be the one crushing your friend's hopes and dreams. Blame it on me.
Yeah.
Similar to the kid, right? Where like mom and dad say, hey, if you ever don't want to go do something, just say, my mom won't let me. I don't even care what it is. I'll back you up. I'll be like, yep, told them not to. You know what I mean? Like Boo Corrigan, I think, would be smart to go to Gainey and say, you played here. Some of your best friends in the world played here. You were a staffer here. Some of your best friends in the world probably are in the coaching world. You're a head coach. You have the hire and fire, right? Like you are the guy building your staff. If somebody hits you up, hey man, I've been doing this. I've been an assistant coach back in high school for the last couple of years. Let me get one of those spots on the assistant coaching job.
Yeah, let me be a video coordinator or something.
You know me. I know ball, right? We played. You know me. I know it. I see the game. You know me. Hey, listen, my athletic director says company policy, got to have X amount of years at the Division I level, right? Like, hey, sorry, that's not me. Like, because you don't want to break your friends' hearts. You don't want to have to say, listen, I don't think you're a good enough coach. What if somebody hits you up, maybe has some connection to NC State? They've been an assistant. You just don't think they're that good a coach. That's a real tough conversation to have if it's somebody you care about.
Mm-hmm.
And it probably doesn't happen nearly as much if he's going to go be the coach at Gonzaga, right? Because that's not my school. We didn't go there, like that sort of thing. Bringing somebody home is great until you bring somebody home with something everybody wants, right? There's a reason why rich and famous people very rarely build their mansion at the end of the road that they grew up on. Right? They want to go somewhere where people aren't asking for as many things. So maybe a little bit of a worry there. And then a different way that the lack of head coach experience could manifest itself. I think you want to get him media training. Right? He's never been the guy that had to go to a post-game presser after a heartbreaking loss when your star fouls out with 6 minutes left and you were the one that decided to play him with 4.
Yeah.
He's never had to do that. And there's something to be said for having to, like we talk about with so many other coaches, having to do that at Bryant for a couple of years before you have to do it at NC State.
Yeah.
Right? There's something to be said for having to do that progressively where you go from 3 reporters that you know very well to 10 reporters that you know pretty well to you got national reporters dropping in that you barely know asking questions. Like there's something to say for building up, and he really hasn't had that. So the messaging coming out of that program is something that I think you want to get ahead of and make sure he knows how to frame decisions that he made, whether they work or don't work.
Because that was my choice. Is that not the right answer?
If you would like to show a low light reel of what not to do after a heartbreaking loss, Hubert Davis's after the loss to VCU would probably be one of them for Carolina. And even there's some things, Duke media is a machine. There's some things you can learn there.
Oh yeah.
John Shire, when it was brought up, I think before the season even, about their close losses last year, he kind of had a smirk and he was like, you tell me how you'd like us to lose. That's coming back to resurface now, right? And I'm not saying that's the wrong thing to say, right thing to say. I'm saying Justin Gainey better be aware that things you say in June might end up popping up in March if things don't go your way. So that would be another something that I would pay attention to for an inexperienced head coach.
Also, as well, sometimes you do see coaches at moments will coach through the media in terms of what they say. Like, we got to, we have to be better at this. We have to do better at these things, or whatever it might be. Stuff that you have to make sure you have already told your players directly. And then if they're still not doing it, then I say it publicly where then everyone's like, yo, why is coach saying you guys aren't doing this? Right? I'm like, I did say that. Well, coach actually said it out loud for everyone else to hear. Now I'm hearing it from multiple places. Sometimes you got to find that fine line as well.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's very true. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Before we move on and get to more of the action here at Durham Bulls Athletic Park, I'm Tim Donnelly for Maynard Service Company. On days like today, you may be thinking, I'll push it off. I don't need to get my heating and air conditioning system looked at because it's beautiful outside. I'm just going to open the windows. Yeah, on days like today, that might work. It's North Carolina, though. In a week, it could be 102. And then you're going to want your cooling system to be running on all cylinders, and you didn't get it checked out. You didn't get it maintained. You didn't get the service call into Maynard Service Company, and it might not be working as efficiently as it should. Same for anything going on in your house. Heating, cooling, plumbing, electric. They handle it all. Right? Do it all player. It's baseball season, right? As of today here in the area. And you know what that means? You're looking for 5-tool players. You're looking for guys that do it all. They hit, they field, they run, they play defense. I don't know what all the 5 tools are. I know that Maynard Service Company can do it all. 4 tools. Heating, cooling, plumbing, electric. Give them a call. 919-361-0993. That's 919-361-0993. Or visit them online, MaynardServices.com. How can you not be romantic about baseball? We talk opening day coming up next.
Listen for the Did He Just Do That?
Cameron Boozer. Put it off the window! Count it in a foul!
Listen for the Get That Out of Here's.
Kongba blocks it. What a rejection.
Oh my goodness.
The lob! Brown hangs from the rim, and the lead grows to 22.
The road to Indianapolis runs through 99.9. The Fan. Driven by Strategic Tax Resolution, Wake Med, Fairway Green, and Chapel Hill Family and Cosmetic Dentistry.
Hi, Greg Talbot with Strategic Tax Resolution. Tax enforcement and defense strategies have changed a lot over the last year. After nearly 5 years, the IRS has restarted automated collections. You could be next for bank levies and wage garnishments. Ignoring the issue is not an option. Call 984-272-2600 to get protected. Do you have unfiled returns or tax debt? We work directly with the IRS and states so you don't have to. Let us use our proven strategies and experience with the IRS and state to resolve your tax issue. Qualified clients have cut their tax debt by more than 90%. How would that feel? Act now to learn the latest updates to tax relief programs. Your eligibility may not be the same. Strategic Tax Resolution. Local, trusted, A+ rated by the BBB. Call 984-272-2600. Ask for me, Greg Talbot. 984-272-2600. You've got a guy on your side. StrategicTaxResolution.com. Get relief.
When it comes to your roof, it's all about quality above with peace of mind below. Hi, this is Holly with RoofWorks. We're proud to be in our 20th year helping families and businesses keep the roof over their heads as economically as possible. We work on every type of roof, gutters, and skylights with quality repairs, maintenance, and replacements for your home, your business, and multifamily. We offer warranties with every new roof and financing options for homeowners, and we're now serving Southern Pines as well. Visit us to learn more at roofwerks.com.
Meet Morgan Jones. Morgan is about to step into a world unknown to most, thanks to Progressive's Renters Insurance, a place of fresh linens and turn-down service. You see, Morgan temporarily vacated her apartment and has gone to a hotel because a pipe burst in her apartment. A pipe that made her sense of reality and apartment ceiling all come crashing down. Luckily, Morgan checked into Progressive's Protection Zone. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and third-party insurers.
McDonald's is putting value back on the menu. Whether you're craving a Big Mac, McNuggets, or sausage, egg, and cheese McGriddles, make it a meal and save. Your favorite is now your wallet's favorite too. Extra value meals are back.
Now for just $5, get a sausage, egg, and cheese McGriddles, hash browns, and small premium roast coffee. Price and participation may vary, cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Durham Bulls Athletic Park. That's where we are. I don't know where you are, but you should be here because it's a great day for baseball. The Durham Bulls are opening their home schedule against the Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs, which is obviously the Bulls, an affiliate of the Tampa Bay Rays. The Iron Pigs, an affiliate of the Phillies. And it's AAA baseball. This is one step away from the Bigs. I have to be real. I'm going to be honest with everybody.
What's that?
We do this exact broadcast on opening day every year.
Yeah, we do.
I don't want to say it's become a bit paint by numbers, but we know the beats, right?
Oh, yeah.
You're going to talk to Mike Berling, the vice president of CBC Sports. We're going to talk about hope springing eternal. We're going to talk about guys that we saw when, right? I grew up in Jersey. I saw Nomar Garcia-Parra play for the Trenton Thunder, went on to be a star. I think I was 5 years old at the time. Like, we're going to do that, right? There's certain things we're going to hit. I was not expecting, right? There's always something that surprises us. I was not expecting to learn that in the second half of this very season, AAA baseball is going to experiment with changing the dimensions of the bases.
Yeah, so here in the International League, it's kind of wild.
Now, I know you and Mike Berling, the vice president of CBC Sports, talked about it more kind of off air.
Yeah.
Can you explain what the heck is going on here? Because once he said that, like, second base was going to move, I think I saw blurry, like I went, centuries of baseball is now being upended.
So basically what they're going to do is you take second base and you move it closer to the mound. So physically move the base closer. So as opposed to the traditional 90 feet between each base. So it's still going to be home to first, still going to be 90 feet. Third base to home, still going to be 90 feet. But from first to second and second to third, 9 inches shorter. 9 inches shorter.
Okay. Now,
so but that's a pretty significant.
Jokes,
So yeah,
but here's the deal. It doesn't sound like much. Think of how many stolen bases in particular. You go and now that they have replay, you watch the super slow-mo replay and the hand either sneaks just under the bag or the tag gets him centimeters away from making contact with the base.
Yeah.
And now, like, you almost get to a foot of change there. That's going to significantly change a few of the outcomes on particular stolen bases, but really any bang bang play that takes place at second base. And that is crazy. Oh,
hey, champ.
We have an absolute rock star celebrity that has just walked up here. It is Champ the Bat Dog. There's
hey, buddy.
boy. Oh, my dog is jealous.
Hey, he's a good boy, ain't you? Yes, you are. Yeah, dog showed up. We're going to talk like
a
it.
little all-star dog training.
Yes.
By the way, I was in the now I'm just talking to the owner here. I was in the elevator room here. They got a nice little tribute to Ripken with the paw that has been saved in some kind of clay or something like that.
We felt like we needed to go on the wall.
Yeah, needed to go on the Wall of Fame. So Champ is Champ going to be performing today?
He is.
All right, Champ will be out there grabbing bats.
Thursday, and Saturday.
Today, Thursday, and Saturday. If you're thinking about making it out to a Durham Bulls game, the Champ the Bat Dog will be performing and acknowledging this isn't the best radio, but acknowledging that if you were in our chair, you would be doing the exact same thing because Champ the Bat Dog is as we said, celebrity. And when he walks up on set, we make sure he gets the appropriate pets and nuzzles that he needs. Hot day for Champ, so important for everybody to stay hydrated. Durham Bulls Athletic Park. This is a good sign. I mean, it's opening day. Champ the Bat Dog's here.
Exactly.
That's a good sign right there. I'm also jealous that Champ is so well trained.
Yeah, I know.
Thinking about what my dog would do if I told him to go get a bat on a baseball field in a minor league baseball park like this. He'd probably be, jumping all over the left fielder or something.
You'd be a good boy today, buddy.
Shout out to my dog Blitz.
Oh yeah, lots of bats today, buddy. Good boy.
Yeah, hopefully he does have to do that. And by the way, just to let everybody know, not only is Champ here the next couple of games, but also you can grab seats out in the 99.9 The Fan zone.
That's
here
right,
at the
Section
Durham Bulls Athletic
215.
Park. We're all partners here. Out there in Section 215 down the third baseline. Dennis, I think you described our fan zone appropriately here as we talk about it. Prime foul ball territory.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Down the third baseline, prime foul ball territory.
As somebody, with a 5-year-old who, every time you bring a 5-year-old to a minor league game, you let your mind wander to like, oh, this is going to be great. He's going to get the foul ball. We're going to do the hot dog thing. Like, you're just going to have the, like, Norman Rockwell painting of a baseball game. You do have to set yourself up for success in those scenarios.
Yeah, you do.
And being in the fan zone sets yourself up for success as far as grabbing that foul ball and making a kid's day.
But the 99 on the fan zone, Section 215, Tuesday nights, like tonight, $9.99 in Section 215. That is our section. 99.9 the fan zone. $9.99 tickets on Tuesday nights at Durham Bulls Athletic Park this season.
That is $9.99.
Yes.
We are aware that our radio dial is 99.9. The tickets are 9.99. They're
Yes.
$9.99. Move the decimal. We're hooking you up with a deal. We're not expecting $100 tickets. And Durham Bulls would not do that because it's family friendly and everybody wants to have a good time. Bring the fam. Have a fantastic baseball experience.
You mentioned that, like bringing the family and having that experience. The state of North Carolina is especially for the fact that we don't have a Major League Baseball team in any sort of proximity. The closest, Washington or Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
Like we're literally kind of stuck in wedged in that little void right here. Minor League Baseball in the state of North Carolina is so entrenched throughout cities and small towns throughout this entire state and has been that way for decades, well over a century. Gosh, the Bulls have been here since 1902. But the fact that you have the Durham Bulls or even the Coastal Plain League, Holly Springs, you have Zebulon with the Mudcats having moved. But just across the state of North Carolina, minor league baseball has just been entrenched in communities across the state, and it really has been a staple of the sports culture here in North Carolina, much like college basketball has been entrenched in the state across not just the ACC, but even at mid-major levels as well. Minor league baseball has just been a part of the fabric of our state's culture and sports culture for so long. It truly is a thing that people get to embrace in this state, and I love it.
As somebody that is just entering into the portion of life where I'm going to be arguing with people that want kids to specialize, pick one sport and do it, right? My kids won't be doing that. One of the things I love about Carolina sports culture the most is there are legitimate seasons.
Yeah.
Like baseball season, take baseball seriously. When the Canes are in the playoffs, all out hockey. College basketball, all out. Obviously, football dominates the fall like it does in so many places. But Carolina takes it all seriously.
Yep.
And it's great for fandom. It's great for kids. It's great for everything. It's why we call it the Mecca, right? We're right in the epicenter of everything for sports here in North Carolina. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We got to get off air so we can go enjoy a baseball game.
Yeah.
A little bit later on 99.9, you can catch a hockey game. 7 o'clock Storm Watch, 7:30 puck drop for Canes at Columbus. We have Overdrive coming up next. I forget what we're going to have on it, but there's good conversations coming your way on Overdrive.
Justin Gainey, NC
State head coach, announced officially today. We'll see you tomorrow. Until then, have a great night, everybody.
The Adam Gold Show.
In some ways, I think Duke is undervalued or underrated as the #1 overall seed. None of the national people really have been looking at Duke as the true national championship favorite. Most of them have been on Arizona or some ways Michigan. I do remember Duke beating Michigan, but that doesn't matter. That was a close